Hey everybody, what's going on? Rob Cesternino back with you for a huge night. As with just learning the Survivor 50 cast the other day, we will have our Survivor 50 draft tonight. I don't even think they started playing the game. No spoilers here. No way, no how. Everybody's gut check. Survivor 50 draft happens tonight. It is June 1st, 2025. Happy Pride, everybody. And we are ready to go. If you're hearing this in the main feed, it's because you are not a patron of Robin's Podcast, and it's February 2026. In some ways, we're jealous of you because you're about to watch Survivor 50. But for us, in the real time, it's 8 months away. But here we are with our amazing panel of drafters here tonight for this stupendous draft. Of course, with us, a man who may have to go back to some old pet peeves tonight. It's Taran Armstrong. Taran, how are you?
Oh, don't you worry. I am prepared. Listen, as somebody who is now happy to welcome a new person who has now picked 2 winners in this group of drafters, I am prepared with more research than I ever have before for this draft, Rob.
Okay. All right. Well, you watched the old seasons that they were on?
No. Why would I do that?
Okay. Well, we watched them originally. Okay. Here with us, the 2-time champ. Here he is. It's Pooya Zambakili. Pooya, how are you?
Woo! I am doing so good. I'm so happy to be here. So excited. It's another draft, and it feels good to be at the top. Rob, also, not just 2-time winner, also the holder of the highest average draft placement.
Oh, wow.
That's the thing we look at, I guess.
I can't.
Yes.
Both
Congratulations.
It's amazing how people care about that when they start winning.
Oh, it still is worthless. Just I have it. Just everyone knows.
Yes.
We talk about it a lot.
Now let's bring in a woman who's married to a man bragging about his average draft placement. It's Dr. Liana Boraas.
I'm just so happy you guys get to go through what I have to experience every single day.
Complete the heart. Do it.
Yeah.
Yes. Of the Pooya and Liana Lounge. It's Pooya and Liana. Liana, how are you?
Yeah. I'm doing well. I'm excited. I have no idea what's going to happen today. I've spent 0 time preparing, and we're going to YOLO our way through this. I can't wait.
Okay. All right. Very excited to have here with us. What a day for this next panelist. Of course, she was the star of the kickoff of season 4 of The Pride Has Spoken. Here she is from Survivor 47. It's Aysha Welch.
Hello. Hi. How are y'all? I'm very excited to be here. I'm ready to pick. Listen, I'm just operating on who my favorites are. That's literally it. I don't care what if the odds are not in their favor. Who cares? Right? Okay. We're here to have fun.
Is that what we do?
We're just here to hee ha ha our way through the season. If you're watching this in February 2026, you're probably like, oh my gosh, why are your locks so short? I know at this point they're probably down my back. So
okay. Well, Aysha, that has not been my experience with the draft, that people are just here for fun, that people are out for blood.
I'm trying to rewrite history. You know, we used to
be
a very...
Whoa. That's a pet peeve, Aysha. You haven't gotten there yet, but that's a pet peeve. You are on
a new path, Aaron.
We'll reveal who.
Look, I'm just on a high, like you mentioned, Rob. Go out, check out the Pride Has Spoken episode. I really enjoyed recording it. They are doing amazing things on that podcast, and the reception has been great.
Yeah, it's a great interview. I listened to it earlier today, and if you want to hear all about Aysha's journey and her love story, you can hear that all on the first episode of this month's The Pride Has Spoken. New episodes coming out every Sunday this month. Here with us, of course, he's going to be talking about some of the snubs on a special Club Condo tomorrow. But here tonight to pick from the players that will win, it's Chappell.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Thank y'all for having me back. I'm hanging on by a thread. Every time y'all mention average draft placement, I just get quiet because I know I'm down at the bottom of that list. But yeah, this will be fun. I'm so excited to talk about the snubs. Like, I'm really just trying to get through this so I can do the real complaining. I've been listening. I've been just waiting in the wings all week. People have been complaining about the cast, but no one's gotten a real Chappell take on what's going to happen. And so tomorrow I'm going to unleash, and I'm coming in hot, and I'm going to talk about all the people who should really be here playing for the crown of the winner of Survivor 50.
Yeah, and I thought maybe we could get into some of the social media mess also going on from this week of Survivor since the cast is dropped on Wednesday. So a lot to talk about on a special Club Condo live on Monday at 1 p.m. And back with us, of course, that it's the highlight of the draft to see all of her reactions throughout the night. She's already talked about Survivor 50 over on Survivor Global. It's our chief international Survivor correspondent. It's Shannon Gus.
Hi, Rob. I'm just here to hee hee ha ha have fun. Which is a crazy thing to say, Asia, after the last 2 days of the group chat. Like, I thought we were going to need legal representation. The way we were like, I was like, I'm getting my brother in here. Like, he's a lawyer, and we are going to work through these draft rules. I almost got it.
I could see like for the draft, it's like a Survivor logo, but instead of outwit, outplay, outlast, it says hee hee ha ha have fun.
Yes, it's such a good time, and it's so just like low stakes,
so lighthearted.
It's so
release the group chat drama.
Yes.
Release it.
Oh my God.
Release
That's
the screenshot.
Everything. This is a kumbaya group. Everybody is getting
That's
along.
what they say about us. Yeah.
I have a question. I have a question about the winner of season 50 in general. Is this a hee hee ha ha ass season? Is this like, are we like, no, seriously, like Winners at War was like Winners at War. They're coming from war. There was a song, you know, it's like that winner is going to be the one person who can say they beat all the rest of the winners that were in the mix. This is season 50. What is this person's crown? It's like, is this I'm the winner of the celebratory season of Survivor's 50, you know, whatever seasons? It's what is this person getting? Is this just, or is this just like, oh yeah, you won, okay, cool.
Is this
whatever?
You talking about the real season or the draft?
Yeah, I mean both. But more importantly, the real season, right? Like, what are we doing here? I feel like, are we just having fun? Is this a good time, Rob?
I think it depends on how it goes. I think that if like we see like a real slaughter of the old school early, I wonder if maybe people might say like that there might be a backlash. But if we end up seeing, you know, some of the real icons that are here go far and people feel like that it was a worthy season, but sometimes you get with these returning player seasons, sometimes they're a little floppy.
Well, I think this is the core issue of the entire season, which is that they've cast two different kinds of returnee casts. One is like your every 4 years, let's get the most recent people back. And the other is like a Legends cast. And they just like mashed the two together in an oversized, overstuffed cast. And we don't really know what this season even is at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bring back themes. Bring back themes. I mean, I'll save my hot takes for tomorrow for the snubs, but yeah, this feels a little made up. They made this shit up.
Nevertheless, this is the Survivor 50 cast we have, and this is the Survivor 50 cast that we will draft. I have entered the draft. I was not originally supposed to be in the draft, but I made the executive decision, especially in a 24-person
Volin told us
cast.
that he was going to be on the draft. Okay.
After much thought, we decided to extend an invitation to Rob to participate in this draft.
Right.
We had to make some cuts, but Rob stayed on the roster.
Yeah, we didn't have to make any cuts. This was, you know, it's a 24-person season. We could have a 7-person draft. I think that we can be no problems. We're not going to miss a beat. And
we didn't make any cuts to Omer because, like, he's devastated.
Yeah. Omer was going to be in the draft?
Listen, he was in consideration. That's all I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait,
oh my God.
We talked about
you say we're not going to miss a beat. We are going to miss 3 players. Okay, actually, one thing we didn't clarify in our day group chat. Wait, I just want to say, so if the audience are getting 3 players, they, I think, should be, like, they should have our same draft rules. Like, if the audience gets grenaded, then if they win... then we still, you know what I mean? Like they're playing
easily.
I was going to suggest maybe no grenade rule because these are Survivor 50, but at the same time, and also because I'm most likely to draft the grenade. But here's the thing: I agree. If they're gonna play, they gotta play by all the rules. They can't just be like, "Oh, we won anyway. We got it." No, hell no. You drafted the grenade.
You got to go through the trenches with us.
Okay,
yeah,
I like
everybody's
that.
in it.
Also, if the audience wins the draft, that means it's the draft order for Survivor 51 is going to be in the hands of the fans also.
We don't even know what the draft order is for Survivor 49, Rob.
That's true.
We don't even know the draft order for 49. Who's that in the hands of?
Yeah.
That's
so
true.
We'll put up a poll and it's like, who do you want to have the first pick? And then we'll just, poll results.
The real question is, if the audience wins, how do we determine which one of the audience wins?
Yeah, exactly.
Hunger Games?
Which audience?
Yeah.
Which audience?
The hive mind has won. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I won the who will be on Survivor 50 draft.
Wait,
so I kind of
did
said
you?
that. Yes.
Oh
But
no, you
I
don't
thought
need
that
one.
Sam was going to update us on the points.
Sam, can we get an update on the points
Sam
for
don't know
the
the
who will
points.
be on Survivor 50 draft? Okay.
Because I don't know who's on the chat.
Rob killed you all. Rob won. It was Rob.
Wait, no, what were the points?
Oh,
Like 14
God,
to
tell her the
7 or
points.
something.
Who got 0?
I got
That's
one.
important.
Yeah, Rob won.
Who
That
you
was
got
me.
zero?
Yeah.
Okay.
Me,
Who you got zero?
Asia, and
It's-
Liana, who
we'll-
were not on that draft,
Shannon,
all got
Yeah,
zero.
we didn't participate.
We'll get you the full accounting for average draft position, but in the meantime, okay, I had a money in the bank pass. I cashed it in, and I'm here tonight to draft. So we will each draft 3 people for our season 50 team. The audience will get the 3 people that do not get drafted. Of course, we are always just picking for the winner, with the lone exception of if you pick the grenade, your entire team is now out of the draft. That is the first player voted off of the game. If there are 2 vote outs in the first episode, it will be whatever vote is shown first in the episode. Okay.
We are having a shoot the moon rule where if you get the first 3 boots, you win, right?
Oh, I mean, that would
That's not a bad idea.
That's what
No,
Shannon
that's
was
just
trying to
another
do.
way
Yeah.
Shannon can win without
Yeah.
drafting the winner. No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah,
right.
close to that.
She has too many
The
outs.
one caveat to the grenade rule is if you're grenaded, but your other 2 players both make it to the final 3 and you have the winner, you can take the antidote to the grenade. Impossible, you say? Well, look no further than Chappell, who won in exactly that fashion in Survivor 42.
And you would
Yep.
think after doing that, they would bring the winner of Survivor 42 onto
Yes.
Survivor 50.
Specifically for that reason.
Woo.
Yeah.
Man, for if nothing else, where the hell is Marianne? Where the hell is Marianne?
As a drafter or as a player?
in life? Where is
Yeah.
she should be on this damn draft.
I believe
Full
Toronto.
school. Yeah.
This is crazy.
Okay.
This is crazy talk, Jeff.
All
Bring
right.
back Marianne.
So,
Horrendous
with-
snub. I hope that's
Hey.
most of your podcast tomorrow.
Number
All right.
one with a bullet.
and
Thank you.
shout out to our patrons who are here with us live. Over 500 people live tonight for the Survivor 50 draft. Very exciting night, and really glad to see so much enthusiasm for all the Survivor 50 coverage. All right, Pooya, you are the man of the hour. You have won the Survivor 48 draft. I'm sorry, we do not have a cameo for you for your winner pick, Kyle, that he seems to be busy.
That makes sense. That makes
Mhm.
he's on the draft board again.
Wow.
We have
too
not been
busy
able
for
to
us, huh?
contact him.
Okay, fair.
Big
Okay.
time.
Listen, 49 is happening.
All right.
So we'll see him then.
All right. So in the meantime, Pooya, you will give us our order 1 through 7 for our snake draft.
Yes, Serpentine draft. We are here, the big 50, in the hands of the fans, but your fates are in the hands of the me. All right. With the first pick in the draft, we're giving that honor to someone who is my first pick in life, Liana.
Thank
First
God.
Okay.
pick in the draft.
God.
You don't understand. I deserve this. I've been through so much.
Can we talk about pregame alliances?
Yeah,
Ah!
yeah.
Right.
For Survivor 50 or for the draft?
The
So
draft.
the draft sounds like.
Okay. Can I just say the rest of us should be teaming up against Pooya and Liana. They have a crazy pregame
I tried to
alliance.
have your back, Shannon. I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, they literally, if one of them wins, it's like both of them wins because they're both deciding the draft order. They're there in the Pooya and Liana lounge talking about how they both won, wearing belts, holding hands. I'm like, I hate you guys. They did so well in the 48 draft. No couple should have this much power. Like, I think we should all be conspiring against them. But then it's the same as Survivor, but we keep coming for each other. That's how they get us.
So the second pick in the draft will not be the person who was just talking. That
Wow.
honor will go to the
Can't
only
believe I
person
lost
who
it.
has 2 wins, me. I'll be second in the draft.
Okay.
All right.
Boring.
The next person, the next pick, this person actually did. We did talk about the person that they drafted that did win that season with the same spot, third pick. Chappell is our third pick in the draft.
Yes,
Wow.
I'm out of the ghetto. Whew, I've been at that.
You're
that
always
low
on the
that-
bottom row.
Always in the bottom row. Dear God, shit.
All right.
Oh, God.
And now I can announce one of you is being saved from that bottom row. And that person is Mr. Armstrong, your fourth pick in the
Oh.
draft.
Taran.
Ooh.
Make your way up here.
Mm.
This person is getting a very special number to me. If y'all know number 5 is my favorite number, and it is the
Oh,
number
like Lou Bega.
that exactly. Me and Lou, both
It's
me
his
and
favorite Mambo.
same. Yeah,
Yeah.
best Mambo, best
Who's
number.
Monica Pooya?
Don't worry about it.
Doing it for Monica.
Also, the last draft we just did, 48, with the 5th pick, I picked the winner. And I feel like this person can do the same, has the same energy that I'm on. We're talking vibes. We're talking hee hee ha ha. Asia, number 5 goes to you.
Hee hee ha ha.
Hee and ha ha. All right. All right. And this person gets number 6 because, and I'm quoting, they are not Chappell. Shannon gets 6th pick because I do not want her to get the back-to-back of 7 and 8. I think that's too good of a spot, which goes to my friend Rob Cesternino. 7.
Wow.
Okay.
This
That's
is
fine.
better than I ever expected.
Yeah.
I
This
mean,
is amazing.
I told you you're not last. You were
Large as
convinced you were
hell.
last pick. You're not last pick.
I'm always 6, so it doesn't matter.
Hey,
I'm
this is
never
the
last.
spot-
That doesn't mean
But
I'm
listen, this is the spot you won with. Last season, you tried to give yourself a spot, and that was your worst showing ever. So I'm just helping you out.
Jesus.
Sure.
I know. I can't believe you guys haven't gloated more about the fact that I had the worst draft in draft history.
no, we
It
just have
wasn't-
the clip.
You know, I
of
think
him
we
saying-
forgot.
did you?
You want to reset that,
Yeah.
Shannon?
Yeah, tell us-
Hit us with it.
Yeah.
About
How
how
did that
badly I
happen?
did?
Yeah, start with the beginning.
All right. So I won 47. I think you guys remember that. I was wearing a tiara and I came in
It's
like
been
all
so long
happy.
ago.
Yes.
I don't
Yes,
really remember
yes.
it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And then I was, to be fair, for my winner pick between Thomas and Kyle. Now, Thomas was too charismatic. However, I am glad I didn't choose Kyle as my winner pick because I was grenaded anyway with Stephanie. RIP. Great pre-merge, right? It was their fault. And then I didn't have Kevin, who I also was very high on, to be fair. And then I did have Justin, though. And then I had Thomas. So those were the first 3 or 4 picks. So I was out of the draft by the 3rd week when 2 of my picks were out and I'd been grenaded. And then all my players were out by week 4. And then I went to Europe. Chappell said I was draft dodging, which was brilliant. It's not what I was doing, but I see how
Feels
it
like it.
looks like that.
Mhm.
And now I'm in 6th place. So I think we're all caught up.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds about right.
All right. With that being said, Liana, you will do the honors of the 24 players selected to participate in Survivor 50. Who is the one that you will take first?
I am also here for the hee hee ha ha good fun time or whatever it was. So I, similar to
Hee hee ha
Asia.
ha, have fun.
Oh, sorry. Yes, the hee hee ha ha have fun draft. So I want to pick somebody who I just can't leave off the draft board, and that is Cirie. I don't know.
I wrote it
how
down
Cirie-
before you even started talking.
Look,
Ha ha hee hee hell. This is not fair. This is not fair. No. Look at this bat. Look, first of all, look, this is the picture. Look how she ate this up, y'all. That's my mama. That's my mama. That's boy, I swear.
Statistically, Cirie always does very well.
Always.
I got a backer. I mean, come on. I'm just so excited. I know there's a little bit of Cirie fatigue out there, but not for
What?
this girl. Cirie's my number 1 pick in the draft.
What can you say?
I respect it.
Liana, amazing
Yep.
pick. No 10s across the board. Queen, mother, both of you. I mean, here we are.
Yeah, no notes. Easily my number 1 as well. It's just like I would watch Cirie play 15 seasons of Survivor. So I ate up Big Brother 25. Like watching Cirie is just a very enjoyable experience. And so I would just imagine,
Yeah.
you know, any amount of time that we get to watch her on Survivor 50 is going to be a good experience. Are the cards in her favor? Maybe not, because it's Cirie and she's been killing it back to back to back. Like she hasn't played a season of Survivor after being the winner of the Traitors. So
Well-
that's going to be an interesting point.
Yeah.
She
I
actually
think that's,
has.
well, it's true. This will be our second appearance. By the time most people are watching this draft, we'll have seen another season of Cirie, which is
True.
so cool.
Very-
I'm super
Mhm.
jealous that she's not in my team. Obviously, like the one note is that no one's on her level ever, but like there are no other Mount Rushmore level players in this cast. Like she's not out there with like a Sandra, Tony Parvati, or like she'll be out there with Tony Parvati later this year. But you know, if they were smart, they would get rid of her. But you know, they never do as another
never
Mount
do.
Rushmore player.
Exactly.
Might have said.
Yeah.
So you got to back
I
Cirie.
mean, there
I
was
mean, she
heroes
has-
versus villains.
Yeah.
1 out
Yeah.
of like
Yes.
8.
Yeah.
And that was a ridious idle play that
Wasn't
shouldn't have
even
happened.
majority.
JT messed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
A majority has never voted out Cirie. She has what, like 9 votes against her in 4 seasons.
Last I checked, last time Cirie was on the beaches in Survivor US, she didn't get voted out. She got some kind of advantage getting it
Oh
out.
my god! Please don't mention that, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
We pretend like that never.
She did have a majority of votes against her in Big Brother, though.
Yeah.
But like, who watches that?
Fair.
We should.
You watched the entirety of that season. Let's not.
That was your favorite.
I would do anything for Cirie. I love her so much.
I was not able to find pet peeves on record for Cirie, but having watched her on Big Brother, I imagine one of them is that damn Corey flipping on her.
Another would be Ellen Bowen Jane. Yeah.
Another would just be Big Brother. I watched her on Big Brother. Her pet peeve is definitely just Big Brother.
That's fair. That's fair. In Heroes versus Villains, she was asked, "Why did you come back and play again?" And she said, "Because I didn't win the last 2 times." So I imagine if she was asked the question again, it would be because I didn't win the last 4 times.
Wait, is this a spoiler for AUV World though? Like she's about to play again.
I guess we have at that point.
Oh no.
Tara, you've done so much research.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed.
So
Thank
Cirie
you.
last plays Survivor and Survivor Game Changers, and we all remember Advantage Get In and how it ultimately goes out. But at the finale, Jeff brings Cirie out on the stage, and it really did feel like that there was unfinished business that Cirie had with Survivor. And it seems it would have been crazy if Cirie would have never gotten another chance to come back to U.S. Survivor to try to finish out the story. So I do think that that would be the storybook ending to Survivor 50. If Cirie, after all this time, it would be a celebration of all of the eras. If somebody who has played throughout all of them came back and finally got the championship for Survivor that she had never gotten through her career, being the greatest player to never win the game and finally come back and do it, it would be incredible. I also think that there is a lot of reverence that I think especially the younger players have towards her, where I think that the people who grew up watching Survivor, I think that I don't even know if they are going to have the stomach to want to target a player like Cirie because she means so much to them. I think that Aysha, from the players from the new era that you know of, I would think that they feel like Cirie is beyond reproach.
Yeah, at least early. Like, I don't think it would be something that they would be willing to throw a vote if it's spearheaded by someone
They want to
else.
hang out with her.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't want to get rid of her. They don't want Cirie to be mad at them. Now,
no way.
Take Cirie to the end, and then something will screw her over. It's great for you.
Sure.
That's how it always goes.
Do the players
Go ahead.
from the old era have a reverence for Cirie is the question.
No, they hate my mom. They hate her so much. They want to be her so bad. Oh my God. I'm vomiting looking at some of these people because I know they hate her and they're after her. And she's right now chilling, about to go play the game, knowing that they're sharpening their knives trying to come for her. But the problem is not going to be them, Rob. The problem is going to be if anybody's going to get screwed over by losing votes, do or die challenges, and all that kind of nonsense that came in a new era. Who is it going to be? Who's number one to get screwed over by something like that? It's Cirie. So I'm concerned.
She's not going on a journey.
Anyone that voted yes on any of those twist polls,
go to
that's
hell.
on you. You did that to Cirie.
Also, there will be fire making, maybe.
Probably not.
Because
oh my God, if Cirie
really
goes
think that
out
vote
in
was
fire
legitimate?
again, if
she's already gone out in fire.
Yeah.
So there's fire making.
On a 2-2 vote.
Yeah, but like now she has to do fire. Well, potentially
Well, we
has
don't
to
know.
do fire at the very end of the game. Like it's an obstacle that is more than likely going to come up for someone. And so yeah, I would hate that. I would hate to see Cirie go out in a way that we've seen her and almost bookend her Survivor journey with nonsense.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now on Survivor Twitter, there have been some rumors about a alliance of people pre-gaming against Cirie. Do we think that any of this is canon? Have we seen any of this?
I've seen enough.
Right.
I've seen all I need to see. Stephanie LaGrossa, you're on notice.
Again, I mean, this is like could just be completely made up and fictional.
In which case, she's still on notice.
Pre-game alliance rumors being made up and fictional, Rob? Never.
Yeah. Okay. Redmond's in the chat and says he's not hearing it. So then I'll stand with Redmond. Okay. All right. Anything else you want to say about Cirie?
I love her so much.
I do too. I just want to be like because y'all know I'm biased. I hella biased here. But there are a lot of people who really would have an axe to grind with someone like Cirie, just because she's played Survivor with so many of them and like tangential. She's beat all their faves and their friends too. So like Ozzy really doesn't love Cirie that much. We can push in like he does, but he doesn't.
I thought they got along on Game Changers.
They existed on Game Changers, but they were not like some like duo that was working together. You know, like if he's looking back at all of the Ozzy, the downfall of Ozzy, it started very early on with meeting Cirie in his second time around. Stephanie LaGrossa has been burnt by Cirie in The Traitors and apparently in Snake in the Grass. I didn't watch that. Coach would never like Cirie in any world anyway. So there are a few people who are going to have it out for Cirie. Let's just be very clear. So she's going to have to work. My mama's going to have to go to work.
Okay.
But if she's in a situation where, if there are 3 tribes and it's 3-3 old and new, that's an okay place to be.
4-4.
Or 4-4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
I would say that a downside for Cirie, I think, is a lot of early tribal councils. I think that especially in a format where we could, I hear you too, Aysha. So, if you're going to like these early tribal councils, and especially they might be voting early and often in Game Changers, Cirie didn't go to a tribal council before the merge, and that was a good formula for her. So I think that if her tribe is going to, like, does she end up like maybe with Jonathan?
Hey, please, God, put her on the trial with Jonathan.
Yes.
Oh my
All
God!
Of a sudden, Jonathan's stock goes way up. Chappell. Chappell's like, thank you for Jonathan on season 50.
She will ride Joe and Jonathan to the end like oxen.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Go, please.
So here for it.
Speaking of challenges, do we think they're bringing back the balance beam? Because like that's
If
how
that-
Jeff thinks about Cirie.
Oh
Jeff-
my
Jeff,
God.
you are on notice.
Mm-hmm.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
A lot of people on notice already.
Yeah. Okay.
Already.
All right. So, Liana, anything else to say with your first pick?
Nope, I'm beyond happy.
Okay.
No matter how it goes, we got Cirie.
No matter what happens. Okay.
Mhm.
There we go.
So-
Number 1 pick off the board
so
is
right.
Cirie. Let's go to Pooya with the number 2 pick.
Yes. So this is an interesting draft because not only are there people that I would never in a million years thought we'd be able to draft from in some of these old era people, but then it's almost like a second chance to get to draft some of these people that we've had from the new era that we have all drafted through already. So I'm going to go ahead and draft someone that has already been drafted amongst our group in the past. I'm going to take one of our Canadian representatives off the board. Genevieve, get on the team. Pooya!
Okay. Wow.
How dare you?
Yeah.
That was cruel.
That's crazy.
How dare
That's
you?
A crazy
Yeah.
pick, Pooya.
All right. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Pooya, talk that through. Genevieve, number 2.
This man's cutthroat, man. Y'all see it? He's crazy.
I mean, Genevieve is everything you want in a player. She is social. She is strategic. She is someone that someone on this board did warn about, and they didn't listen. And then what did she do? She made it all the way to the end. All the way to the end, almost taking the whole bag, getting very close to the very end. And I think there's a couple of things that work in Genevieve's favor. Number 1, 48 just happened. I feel like 48 has 3 people on it. That's a lot of eyes to put on there. Also, not a winner from the new era. There's 2 winners from the new era on the beach. This is not a bad spot for her either. I think Genevieve being like a lone free agent from 47 is great, because if whatever these mix-ups are, if it is a 3 tribes of 8 and it's a 4-4, I can see Genevieve going with the new folks, going with the old folks. Prime for recruitment. And I think there's enough people with threat levels there that despite they should be looking at Genevieve as someone who's menacing, I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna mess up. And I think Genevieve will only do better from there on out.
Yeah, I'm very in favor of all the incredible 47 women that we have, present company included. Genevieve, my winner pick, like tens across the board from 47. Well, my draft winner in Rachel. Genevieve is my winner pick on this season. I knew she wouldn't get to me because I knew I wouldn't get past Aysha with Genevieve anyway. But I felt so good about Genevieve. I said on Survivor Global, she's my winner pick. And then they put out that poll on CBS. I don't know if you saw that, of like who people think will win. And Genevieve's like smashing it. And that actually made me feel much worse about the pick. I'm like, firstly, I'm so basic. Secondly, if everyone's aware that she's like the winner pick, right, maybe the cast will also be thinking that she's like higher up in their minds than I thought. Because I agreed with you, Pooya, that I was like, she is such a big threat, but people might not see it as much. She didn't win. She's not with anyone else. But if everyone is thinking that, maybe it's like a really obvious pick and then she will be targeted. But I think we have seen she is a sparkly person. Like, she definitely has the skills. But I'm just a little bit worried about like how many eyes seem to be on her and how clear that seems to be to people.
Yeah, I'd love to get Aysha's perspective on the Genevieve pick.
Yeah, I mean, this hurts just as much as Pooya when you wanted Shaheen. Like, this hits just the same.
Damn.
Yeah, it's true.
Damn, I understand that pain. I understand that pain quite
now
well.
you can relate.
He said you're welcome.
Right.
I'm really shocked you didn't let her go to Asia.
He
I'm not
wanted
shocked.
her to
Yeah,
bag.
you were
About
one
my
to talk
pain?
about
I
being
drafted
shocked about
Genevieve
people.
the last time. She's mine.
Yeah,
Asia
Taran.
played with
All
her.
right, let's let
I'm with
Sorry.
I'm with Taran. You drafted her once. You should have dibs.
I
Yeah,
drafted her
yeah.
before anybody else knew her or met her. I saw.
No,
I mean, I think
technically
Asia
you
saw
didn't
her first.
draft
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
before anyone knew her or met her.
You don't know how time works.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Aysha,
so-
tell us about Genevieve.
Yeah. So as someone who has played with Genevieve, she is very like, if you're with her, you feel amazing about her. But if you're not with her, you were just, there's so many questions in your head because you're like, I know this person is smart, but it's like, she's like, my experience was like, she's so hard to read because we would have these conversations and our heads would be in similar places, but it's like, but we're not looking out for each other. But in hindsight, it's like, yeah, because the people that she's like, I can work these people, she's like digging in deep and like they are fully like, I got to take Genevieve as far as possible. I have to hand her the game. Like that type of loyalty is the type that Genevieve was able to get early on. And so it's interesting because in the game, Genevieve and real life Genevieve are like two different entities. And like real life Genevieve, we're great friends. And so I'm really interested to see if Genevieve, through her journey through 47, is she going to bring more of real life Genevieve in the game? Or is it going to be a situation where she's like, okay, let me approach it how I did 47 and just kind of see what happens? Because if she approaches it like real life Genevieve, I think people are going to be like, oh, wow, like Genevieve's like, I want to talk to her more. I want to like hang out with her. I actually think that like I could buy loyalty with her. So I think it's going to be really interesting. I think it really matters in how she approaches the game.
I would like to give a rebuttal about Genevieve, the player, not Genevieve, the person, who I think is incredible. And I really think she's an amazing player, a very sharky player. I really do worry that I think a lot of people are going to look at her and say, okay, this is somebody that we have to keep our eyes on in this game. And I think that there could be a lot of threats coming her way. I've compared her to Kim coming back to play in Winners at War, where nobody really felt great about working with Kim because they were so worried about what she was capable of. And Kim really struggled to find allies that really wanted to work with her in the game. That's my fear for Genevieve in Survivor 50.
But no, but she's not Kim. Like, no, like, I mean, no one is Kim. Like, I feel like that's like still a pretty high bar for her to be looked at like that.
I think it really works in Genevieve's favor, the fact that there are 5 players playing on this season that have played since her. So, you know, recency bias. But if those 5 people get together and have it in their mind that Genevieve's the biggest threat, then that's scary as well. So I don't know. I can't wait to watch her. I'm very excited that she's playing again. I'm very excited that, you know, just to see how her gameplay is going to evolve since we saw such growth through 47. But yeah, great pick, Pooya.
I mean, the thing is that there's the 3. So you've got 3 from 46, 3 from 48, 2 from 49. That's a crazy group of people. Like, that's so many people. And to me, Genevieve then starts to just disappear a little bit, at least in terms of threat level. But I do see the argument of, okay, so Genevieve is maybe not an immediate target. Then who are her allies going to be? Is it going to be the new school group, you know, that like big pack of 8 people? Is she going to be able to work with some of the old school players? I'm just curious to see where she's ultimately going to fall. I'm a little bit nervous for her, but if she can get her claws in, very excited to watch her work.
She worked with Rogue. She can work with anyone.
Are people going to storm
Absolutely.
the line?
Honestly, that was when I knew she was like cutthroat. Like,
yeah,
no, that is a good point.
Guy?
Yeah.
That was my impression.
Taran, what was your question?
My question is actually I have an audio clip, and can you hear this?
Taran,
Mhm.
do you storm the boarding gate?
I don't even know why you'd ask me that question. Listen, I might. Chappell, that was from the last draft. Genevieve
from the last
famously had
Those pet
some pet peeves about airports, and then you came in. I don't know where this came from. You came in accusing me of being somebody who storms the
I
boarding
asked
gate.
the question. If I felt like you gave storm the boarding gate energy, Taran.
Listen, I met Genevieve. You
At
know what the
boarding
first
gate?
thing she said to me was?
What's that?
I heard you storm the boarding gate. Well, I just, on record, would like to ask you, where did she hear that?
I mean, Taran, do
On
you
the
storm the boarding gate?
I do not. I
Taran?
strategically place myself in the shadows, ready to strike.
What is happening? Taran, who usually looks at one line from an interview for every player, does no prep, is coming in having looked at previous interviews, is clipping drafts. Taran, what's happening?
He's ready.
I clipped from multiple previous drafts. Just be ready
Oh,
for it.
We got
Wow.
more action coming, baby. Baby.
One other thing about Genevieve. So I remember having Genevieve, I liked her, but I had her lower on my list because she was like Baldur's Gate took over my life, and I just did nothing but that before going on. And I was like, oh my God, I don't love that. The fact that she performed the way she did, despite just being like completely into, I'm like, now she's got nothing but time to prep. I'm like, listen, I'm feeling good.
Maybe that's why she did so well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe she
was
played
why I
Elden
didn't
Ring
draft
before
her.
she went out this time. I don't know.
I didn't draft her last time because she said she played Baldur's Gate instead of practicing to make fire. That's why I drafted Rachel.
dare you.
Firstly, thank you, Genevieve. Secondly, I was like, but she's a sparkly person, and I couldn't, just decide between these two things. But now I'm choosing her as my winner pick. So I think it's a really these are the first two picks I think make sense. I feel like no real notes right now. The Pooya dominance continues, and why are we allowing it?
What was we gonna do to stop this, huh?
Yeah,
No.
Shannon, with the way you
Well,
drafted, you
I'd
didn't
like
try
I'd
to
like
stop
to
it.
I need
hear
their
what
help.
you stop this, which is who's your next draft pick?
Oh, me. I'm next.
Yeah. You're
Oh
next.
yeah.
You
Well,
know what I mean?
are y'all done on Genevieve? We ready to move on, or is like I don't want to?
Yeah.
Moving on to
we're done.
Chappell
Keep
with the
40 more
number
minutes on
3
her.
pick.
This is hard. I'll say this about Genevieve too as I move on. I think Genevieve has a reputation for being sharky based on the edit. And I think a lot of these people do not, right? Like when you think of Colby's last time coming on, you don't think about that. When you think of Coach, he was sharky, but that's not what you remember, right? You remember some foolishness, some cartoony characters on this Survivor 50 draft board. So I wanted to go with somebody who probably doesn't have the reputation for being the threat that they are, and somebody who I think is kind of well-rounded as a Survivor player. So I'm going to go with, and also somebody who I think would do well in the new era because of all the advantages. I'm going to go with the Idle Hound, Rick Devens.
Rick
as my winner pick.
Devens.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, because I in my heart of hearts, I think an old school person is going to win this season, and so I figured, yeah, like I just feel it. Like I feel like, okay, give us that. And so I was like, all right, well, who among them, right, has a reputation that isn't going to proceed them too much to where they're like, we got to get this person out or they will win the game. And I think Rick Devens, having ended up on the edge of extinction, probably is going to lower his threat level because he ended up there for sure. But he also found 4 idols in one season. The new era is chock full of like stuff. I mean, look how much stuff Eva had by the end of her season. She had advantages upon advantages upon advantages. So I'm thinking, okay, Rick Devens could thrive in that. He's very social. He's not a slouch in the challenges, and he's got a strategy mind. So I feel like if anybody's going to get along with everybody, it's Mr. Rick.
Here's my problem with Rick Devens. Here's my problem with Rick Devens. I do think somebody's gonna have a problem with him, and I think that person is Genevieve, because you know what one of Rick Devens's pet peeves are?
Don't
What's
storm
that?
the gate.
Waiting in line.
Oh, yeah.
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 I
I can see it.
honestly wouldn't think that Rick Devens would be a threat to the new era players if he had not been a co-host on Fire.
Oh, is
Oh.
it competitive?
Like I feel like On Fire co-hosts are about to that's
Who's the
that's
favorite?
up there. I think winners are a threat, and then On Fire co-hosts are right underneath that.
Ooh.
So D is the top threat of all threats.
Damn. See, and that's the thing. I didn't want to. I thought about drafting D. I love D as a player. I think she's one of my favorite winners in the new era for sure. But I thought that D is coming in with an obvious threat level, despite being a winner. But that's D who ran the game. Rick Devens does not have a Rick Devens that did blank, blank, blank. Like his Survivor baseball card is not like, this is the person you should be extremely worried about the same way like Cirie or Genevieve would have. And so I was trying to go with somebody who was a little bit more under the radar, who I thought could get ingrained with everybody socially and very quickly.
I hadn't really considered Rick much as a winner pick, but he's very non-threatening, and I don't think that people think of him as you're right, Chappell. He did not only did he find the idols, which I think a lot of people remember, but also people are like, oh well, he can't make a fire, so that's okay. Maybe that's another reason to go. And he can make a fire, just not as fast as Chris. And but he won challenges too, and so I think that probably people don't remember Rick as much as being as having as much success as he did in that season.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. And I think that, Rick is not the first name that really stood out to me when I'm looking through the cast list. And I think that that's a great thing for him. Both the combination of him being on a season that's not, we don't think about it a lot. Let's just say, well, maybe certain parts of it. But I think that for Rick, this is a really, really great position. And I think he can pivot easily between the new school, the old school. He's just so charismatic. And that is also going to carry him far. I think this is a fantastic pick.
Yeah. I think that he's someone who benefits from being one of the returnees from that weird like bubble post 35, but not new era counting that I think can kind of hide into the background. Whereas, you look at a cast like David vs. Goliath, very popular season, very popular cast, featured on Netflix. There's more eyes there generally anyway. So he could potentially hide. Now, can anyone fill the blanks for me as to what Aubry and Rick's relationship is in this era in the 2025?
Yeah, they were on the edge together. I don't know. Yeah. And Rick then left the edge. So I think that if anything, their relationship is I think that did she send him an advantage in the game? Like I think that there was like Aubry
I think they were all cheering for Rick from Edge, and they gave big reactions was sitting at Tribal.
Yeah. So I think that they probably have a positive relationship.
Okay.
Yeah, and honestly, the worst thing you could say about Rick Devens' edit on Survivor is that the entire season looked like he was going to win. That was the thing that we were frustrated with, was watching. It was like, why are we watching this every week if we're just going to get Rick just going to just roll his way to the end, idle his way to the end, there's nothing. And then they threw in the Underwood, card at the end, and that's what threw everything off. But Rick, he was running the show for a while. So I'm like, if people forgot that, maybe he can come in and kind of get the same type of momentum and take it to the win this time.
Okay. All right. Anything else on Rick Devens?
I think it's funny that Chappell has him as an old school player and he was in the 38th season of the show.
The old school is literally anything before 40.
Yeah, it is. I'm not saying it's like a funny, but that's why that late 30s group might be good in between, like bridging the gap between these different eras.
I do genuinely think there's a lot of value to being somebody that everybody expected to return at some point. And who is still involved in the community, because for as much as we talk about threat level and whatever, relationships are going to matter, I think, a lot more. And if he's been able to develop relationships because people know that he's probably going to play on a season, that's probably pretty good for him.
Okay. All right. Chappell is on the board with Rick Devens. And now we go to Taran for the 4th pick overall.
Okay, well, to make this pick, I have a clip from the original draft that this person was chosen on. I'm just going to play this clip. I love Christian. He's endearing, and he's very, to me, he's very genuine, if that makes sense. Like he's very earnest. He's very much himself, and he's not ashamed of it. I love Christian.
Who was that child?
You sounded so
that
young.
Sound clip? Yeah,
you
was that
sound like a
child?
baby, Taran.
Who was in that draft?
Redacted.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Tell you after the show, Shannon.
I don't remember a time before I was drafting. I didn't expect that.
Don't worry about it.
That was a good one, like
Christian
7 years
Hubicki.
ago.
7 years is crazy. Yeah, BC.
There's really not much more to say. I love Christian. I also think he was my first pick in the who's going to return to 50 draft. I think a lot of people expected Christian to be back. I think all what I just said about Rick applies to Christian. He's involved in the community. He has, I think, a decent amount of relationships. He's like the easiest person in the world to get along with. I think everyone will want to work with him. I also think a lot of people will want to target him because he's too likable, but I don't care. I like him too much, so I'm picking him.
Mm-hmm. I love Christian.
Great pick.
Yeah, very.
I love Christian. I think this is a great pick, but I also think that if anybody's coming in with one of those reputations for like this person is going to be good at this game, we should probably target him at some point. It's Christian Hubicki. The entire narrative of David versus Goliath from the moment he stepped on to like they said action on the camera, and it was like Christian's a threat, straight out the gate. And I don't think anybody's going to forget that. So I think that that's his biggest point is going to be having to beat the narrative, right? That he is a threat. He's a walking, talking threat, and he doesn't even look like it, but he's also a physical threat. He was winning immunity challenges and like beating records and and all kinds of stuff. So I think that Christian could be a great winner of Survivor 50, but I think it's going to be very hard.
Imagine Christian wins 50 and you didn't pick him. You know what I mean?
That's how I feel about Cirie and Liana.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
So, okay. I want Christian to win probably. Cirie also.
Probably.
But like if Christian wins, that's a
Cirie.
great season. I think we'd all be thrilled.
Yes.
I think people will like him a lot. And I also think he's really going to benefit by being Mike White adjacent, right? The power that Mike White yields, but maybe then it becomes like a bit of a threat and people are thinking about it. Christian's right next to that, benefiting. And I think that will help him. And I think this is a great pick. And yeah, this is no notes as well on these first 4 picks.
I mean, I'm in general excited about, as we've talked about, this sort of like post game changers, pre winners at war clumping. And Christian definitely falls into that. I do see the argument of, oh, well, he's going to have a lot of eyes on him. But I also think that Christian, we're seeing him now several years down the road. And I'm excited to see this version of Christian play. So for me, I mean, I assumed Christian would have been a first round draft pick. But if he had somehow managed to make it back,
right.
Right.
Yeah, I think that Christian's issue, and I'm thrilled for my great friend to go back and get to play on Survivor 50. I think that the threat for Christian most comes from the really old school players. I don't think Jenna Lewis is going to be a big Christian fan. I don't think Cirie loves this type of player. This is not Colby's kind of guy. I think he can win over Ozzy, but Stephanie perhaps not. So I do think that if he is with a lot of the people from the real old school, they might throw him to the wolves, especially if they have to go to an early immunity challenge.
If Stephanie's coming for Cirie and Christian, I'm not enjoying that.
Well, listen, enemy of my enemy is my friend. So maybe Stephanie wants to work with Christian.
There's also another connection in here that we are aware
Q
of.
may not love him.
You.
I could see that. That.
Yeah.
There's another connection in here.
That's
Right.
true.
Oh, he has that axe to grind for sure. We know that Dr. Christian Hubicki and financial analyst Emily Flippen have played Blood on the Clock Tower together. This is well documented on the internet. I do not think this is the type of thing that other people are going to go. This isn't the Poker Alliance. They're not going to be like, so there's this like game that they play online. These two play it together. I don't think they're going to be onto that
on the show.
If we get clips, that is huge.
Yes!
I just don't think enough of these people are tapped into that side. I don't.
I hope they are for the reason
if they are, and these two are in danger, you know who you blame? 2 people. Dwight Moore and Steven Fishback. It's on those.
That part.
But imagine someone having to go explain that to Colby. Like, just imagine the scene on television where it's like Emily and Christian, and firstly he's like, who and what? Who and
what
doing?
happened on the clock?
Yeah.
Who's bleeding?
Amazing.
Yeah.
That must be worth just Colby coming and reduxing exactly what happened 15 years ago, but even more in the weeds. So, yeah, I mean, I think the new era players do kind of know that stuff is happening, right?
Well,
like,
even
they're aware.
like having played with Christian in Blood on the Clock Tower, he's somebody that if he is on your side working with you, you just feel really good about it.
Yes.
Because he's such a staunch ally. And he's always like working in your corner. He's never somebody that you want to be against. Like you want to find a way to work with Christian if you can, because he's that kind of guy.
If you feel like you're connecting with him, you want to protect him and take him, like be riding with him all the way. if he's someone you do not think you're going to work with, you're going to clash with, the last thing you want is to make eye contact with him. Because if he starts talking to you, it's going to be a bad time. Like I always feel like I'm going to end up giving something away to this person because he's thinking a mile a minute, like everything.
I do think the irony of Christian and Emily Flippen playing the Blood on the Clock Tower together, I think the people are going to say like, oh, that's a great bond. Like Emily might target him. Like
Emily.
Yeah.
Non-zero chance
to each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he should be worried about Angelina. I think if y'all don't remember Angelina like I remember Angelina, she is a showman.
Mike White connection.
And that's going to be the problem. Mike White is going to be like, Angelina, wouldn't it be crazy if we got out Christian? And it's going. The way that lady, she was on Allison's ass that entire season. Okay. She was going out of her way to do like crazy things in that season because she had an axe to grind with Allison. If she just for 1 second thinks that it would be funny for her to be the one to take out Christian, Angelina's turning on him instantly. I can see it. I can see it happening now.
Okay. Anything else about Dr. Christian Hubicki?
No notes.
All right. Taran is on the board with Christian. And here comes Aysha with Pooya's favorite number 5.
Wow.
Is it because
Also
you've
my
been streaming
girlfriend's
for
favorite
5
number,
years,
actually.
Pooya?
I mean, listen, the number means something.
Yes.
June
I
1st,
did
2025,
forget, just briefly, I did forget, I did find his original pet peeves. They were condescension, cliches, and reckless abuse of percentages, which great pet peeves.
Yes.
I agree with like 10% of those.
Okay. Oh, so 5 is also my girlfriend's favorite number.
Oh,
So that's good.
Okay. And Pooya stole that from you too.
Okay, relax, man.
Aysha's
Relax, okay?
The number.
Oh,
Pooya, Liana,
What's happening? What are you doing?
Relax.
what's going on?
Good. Break up Liana and Pooya. That's what I'm doing. I'm not trying to beat them in the blood. I'm trying to break up this whole marriage.
She's
That's what I'm
planting seeds, y'all.
Oh my God.
This person fell way too far the last time that they were in a draft with us. I'm reporting for duty. I'm in the Camilitary, baby.
Okay.
Come on, Camilitary. Yes.
Now hear me
I
out.
was
Okay.
just gonna get that.
Yes.
No.
It's a keeper league. I get her. I get Emily. I get Joe. They're all mine.
Okay. All right. Here's Camilla.
Listen, yes. She just played. Yeah, they're a week out from 48 ending from them watching an entire season of watching Camilla. But I think the biggest storyline from the season 48 was Camilla and Kyle. Get rid of Kyle. And now I can work with Camilla. I see all of her strengths. I see that she's smart. I see that, she can win immunities. We saw that was evident. And I just think that Camilla is I think she's just an amazing Survivor player that will be underestimated. I think as soon as you get rid of the idea of her and Kyle being together, you're not worried about her and Joe. I think if you eliminate Kyle, then you're like, you see more Camilla as more of an asset than a threat.
But what happens if Kyle's on the other tribe and they're going to tribal?
You know,
He's just like,
That's
Camilla
the worry,
was the brains of the Camilla and Kyle. She can come up with something.
Yeah. Camilla is a great pick. I had her on my list as well.
What?
I think that let me talk it through, Shannon.
No, but I'm just because in every podcast you've been so low on her. I was talking about you.
No,
okay.
well, I will. Let me explain my take. The danger for her is, I think, in the first like 8 or 9 days. I feel like it's the early game. The very first couple of tribal councils, where especially if they're like, okay, we need to split them up, and if they're on the same tribe. If they're not on the same tribe, then I think that they say, okay, well, we can take the shot on Camilla now. She's not a huge asset in the physical challenges, although she is a huge asset in the puzzles. And so I think that there is a world where she could go early. But if she gets through that portion of the game, if Kyle goes home, I think that she's like locked in for the final 5.
I think that we've seen before in various shows that being known for being part of like a secret duo can be really beneficial for you because you can promise to bunches of people that they're your new secret duo. The problem is it doesn't work if your original secret duo is also on the season. So I do agree with Aysha that Kyle needs to be gone before Camilla can really soar, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's the number one worry is that they're like, we need to get one of them immediately, and it just lands on Camilla because Kyle's safe or something. Or if they're on the same tribe, I could see a world where they're like, well, Kyle's physical, like we need him for the immunities, right? For the challenges, not the gate.
Yeah.
So
I feel like this
that
is
was my
really
only worry.
Low floor, high ceiling pick with Camilla.
Yeah, I'd be high on her if she was coming back for Survivor 57 without Kyle, not like having played with Kyle last week and she's in the finale being like, the last few weeks that they buried her the way she likes to bury other people, how she likes to push people under the bus, how much she loves and is good at lying. She was probably like, please stop. Like, thank God Colby at least is not watching this. But I do think that if you had some time and it wasn't like the 348ers, which I think will be such a focus, even though she didn't even work with Joe and he was trying to get her out, I think that doesn't look great, but I think she has the skills. And I think she's been wanting to play in a cast that she said is like more her type of people, which at least some of this cast is. So I'm not mad at the pick, but I definitely feel like there'll be eyes on 48 in general and it could fall on her.
And I think because she's Joe is what?
Joe is coming for her. Joe is coming for her.
If Joe can come for her, who's not getting who's not getting Joe out? That would be ridiculous. But I do
Joe, Ozzy, Jonathan, Colby.
They're not on the same tribe.
What a season. What a season.
That's a big concern.
You think those
like,
four
I genuinely
on one
think
tribe?
It's the new strong person alliance.
Did you enjoy 48? Because we might get it again. And I think Jeff would love that.
Yeah,
So
there's a disaster
maybe-
tribe and these four are on a tribe of their own. Lock it up.
I think we should all be drafting the strong guys.
We saw Camilla have fun lying, and so we know that she's capable. But I've met Camilla and had like been able to just see how sweet she is, and I think that's something people can easily forget. Like, she is such a kind human, and just interacting with her, you're just like, I could just put her in my pocket, right? You're not thinking, oh wait, she's about to lie to me.
I feel like Q's not gonna love what she did in Survivor 48 either.
I mean, who can know what Q is going to like? You know, like
I think he likes people that are straight shooters, and I feel like that she was very sneaky.
He spent half his season targeting Tiffany, and she's the straightest shooter on this entire cast. Like, I just don't. It's hard to guess what Q would like. But as far as like, I really do think like one of the issues would be Joe. Rob, if you told me we just played Survivor, and for the entire game, I had no clue that you were working with my number one ally, and now a week later I'm supposed to trust you. You snowed me for the entire game. He found out at Final Tribal Council that was a thing. He was gooped. It's like there's no way he's going to do that again. I'm sorry. I just like if he does that again, he's crazy.
I love this narrative. Like they just filmed 48.
Like yesterday.
Like it was last week.
They left the beach and then they just came back. They came to one RHAP live show and went right back out there. Yeah, but he just watched it on TV. He just relived her being like, not so fast. You know, like there's no way. I just wouldn't. To me, that would be just like the easiest person that I could target if I was Joe, because I'm like, I already know that I can't trust her. She's proven to me that she doesn't trust me, and we didn't even bond that much on the season. So I don't know. I think she's in a tight spot having Joe on the season as well.
Okay. All right. Anything else on Camilla, Asia's number one pick?
Good.
I don't know. Look, Joe and Camilla both flew to Austin for Bryson Wynn.
They
could be great friends. For all
they
we know.
could be.
Like we said, it was a year ago.
Yeah, it was decades ago.
Last week, you guys.
They just met.
She just.
And then, the other thing too is Camilla talks so much shit. She was talking cash money, military shit about David. Like, these dumbasses want to play Survivor. These are the Olympics and all this other stuff. You think she's not gonna have words for Coach? Oh my God. Like if I'm Coach, I'm like, I gotta get her off of here because she's about to Courtney Yates me. She's about to talk so much trash and I'm gonna go home.
No, I think she likes Coach.
She's a Coach
Big
super
Coach
fan.
Anybody like Coach watching from TV, but you go try and live with that man on the island.
That's fair.
A lot of people like David on the season also.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Aysha, you feel good? Camilla, number
great.
5? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Dun, 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 dun.
Here comes Shannon with maybe lucky number 6.
It is lucky. Firstly, an hour in, getting to the kind of end portion of the first of 4 rounds. Do we think I'll make it to pick up Peter from the
First
airport
of
in
3
3
rounds.
hours?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Hoping
Tell
so.
Peter to
What
call
is it?
Uber.
It's 3 rounds.
I
Okay.
saved us from 4 rounds.
Yeah, true. Fair enough. Still, I think Peter's probably walking home from the airport. But Taran comes in here with all his fancy prep and his clips. I don't have clips, but I was spoken to by a deity where, not Cirie, one of my other deities. I have a couple. Firstly, I thought, what am I going to wear to the draft next week? And then I thought, I'm going to wear my Reputation t-shirt. I literally thought that days ago. Then Taylor Swift bought her music back. Someone on the island at the moment doesn't technically even know that. And I thought, this is a sign that if Charlie Davis falls to me, I should take him. But then, Pooya, in the face of all reason, what could have made Pooya not put me last? I've never even heard, I could never even imagine. A deity spoke to him, pushed me into 6th place. That's literally the Reputation album that you will now not re-release because it's perfect. Charlie would be so happy. Charlie, happy year of the snake. I'll be taking Charlie.
All right, Charlie Davis.
Okay.
Recent Rob's
Varna.
podcast guest. Only talked to him about like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, crazy they were also doing podcasts. Christian's on one, The Genius, he's on the island and it's dropping now. So everyone was fine to do podcasts. I thought Rob might take Charlie. Otherwise, I might have let him drop back to me. I feel like if anyone's kind of higher on Charlie,
I will say I would not have taken Charlie in my
Okay.
2 picks.
right.
With all due respect to Charlie, I would have taken him later in the draft. But I
All these
think
people
that-
not repicking their original picks. Couldn't be me.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I did win the 46 draft with Charlie.
Yes,
You did.
That is true. So that's a good sign. He's a draft winner here. Him, D, and Carl, I guess, won the draft for people of the players here.
Ooh.
I think Charlie is gonna be possibly the on fire aspect makes him a threat, as Asia said. I'm a little concerned about that. But I think Charlie's a great player, former Chizzy winner, one of 4 Chizzy winners on this cast, to be fair.
Wow.
But he didn't win.
Ooh.
He was very, very close. But I think that if he doesn't have like that kind of winner threat level on him, but has a lot of the skills where he almost won, I think that could see him through. And also Taylor Swift told me to do it, so I can only, do it for the Swifties. But I'm very happy with this pick.
Yeah, that's the thing for me, is that he isn't a winner, right? So usually it'd be like, okay, he didn't win, he doesn't have the win threat. But the fact that he is basically the new era of blank was robbed, I don't think is a good spot for him necessarily. Because I think a lot of people saw him as the strategic glue of that season. He knows what he's putting everyone on the grip strength out of nowhere. I think there's going to be eyes on this man. I think there's some worry there for him, but I think he's also someone that can definitely, work around obstacles like that. It's not just dead in the water. Like if there's an out, Charlie will find it. But there is reason to worry about it.
Yeah, I think Charlie is an incredible player. I think he played such a great game where he snuck up on people. People didn't see him coming in Survivor 46. He will not have that luxury in Survivor 50. And I think that he has a big problem, a 1-letter problem. And I think that that's Q. I think that if Q is going to
You can't be everyone's problem.
Yeah.
I think Q will
Was
be
he
everyone's
not? Was he
problem.
not in 46? Do y'all remember that season?
Q will be reminding people about Charlie. Charlie won't be able to get under the radar as long as Q is still in the game. So I think that if Q ends up going out early and then Charlie can ingratiate himself, I think that Charlie has a chance. I think that he has a very unassuming look. He can win challenges, but he's not a big muscle guy. I think that Charlie has a lot to offer to the game and could make a deep run. I'm just worried about people not forgetting about Charlie.
My biggest concern actually probably is that I think he's the youngest person on this cast, and he literally just kind of half or was told to us lost, against someone who wanted to start a family as a reason that was given for voting for her with this group of older parents. That, if anything, is my kind of concern, is the jury votes for his type of archetype. But I still think, even though there's some heat on him, I just think from a personality standpoint, he will end up fading in when you talk about all of these other big characters. So I still feel good about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I
think
agree.
that's the thing, is that for me, it's interesting because he obviously falls in the new era threat list, But then I'm like, okay, but D though. Okay, but
Yeah.
Kyle though, right? Like there keeps people above him that I
Yes.
keep thinking about. Maybe even Genevieve, right? Like I think that there's people that maybe end up going above him. So hopefully that will work out in his favor. But I am a little bit nervous for him on this season.
Aysha, do you have any thoughts on Charlie?
No, I think he's a good pick, but like I said, like you had not only is he the on fire co-host, right? So just immediate threat. He 1 vote away. No one has forgotten that. It was only last year.
Aysha, could you talk that through the on fire co-host? That you feel like that because the current players are like listen to every episode of On Fire, so they hear a lot. Like I know, I really want to know like why you feel like that's a big reason why that makes him more threatening.
I think, yes, I do think that new era players pay attention to On Fire because it's a peek behind Jeff's thoughts. Like, I think it's simple as that. So whether or not they listen their current season or they specifically listen to their episode, they're just like, okay. So it was, I mean, clearly on my season, it was a thing. Who's going to be the On Fire co-host, right? Some people thought it was a for sure thing for them. But I think you not only being picked as the On Fire co-host shows how Jeff viewed your game, right? He thinks highly of it, but you also spent countless hours talking to Jeff, like about 12 or 13 episodes of Survivor. And so there's no way they don't think that that's some type of advantage for that person.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is only making me feel better, actually, because you know why? Big reputation. You've heard about him. He's got some big enemies, Q. Like, it literally is in the stars.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it. I like Charlie. I hope he does well. This will be fun.
All right.
Just don't say run, Forrest, run if he's running. He doesn't like it.
Okay.
Makes him want to throw up.
Yeah. Okay. I think only Danielle Reyes is making a Forrest Gump reference on reality TV. All right. We have now the 7th pick, and I will have back-to-back picks. And
yes,
I really, you all have done a great job, but I am happy with how the board has fallen to me because I'm going to take 2 picks here. I'm going to make the final pick of the first round and the first pick of the second round, and I'm going to go with something old and something new. One from the old era, one from the new era, and it brings me. I have a very happy face right now. Okay.
Yes, you do.
It brings me great joy to take with the final pick in the first round. Give me Mike White.
Yes.
It's so obvious.
We're so back, baby.
Yes.
Mike White. I can't believe he fell to me at number 7.
I wanted him. I did. But Taylor Swift told me I can only do what Taylor tells me to do.
Yes.
My biggest fear with Mike White, though, is there are some cutthroat people who do not care.
Haters.
They do not care about the White Lotus, and they would want him out for it.
Okay.
Wait. So the people on reality TV don't care about getting cast on TV with someone who's one of the most powerful, prominent people in current television. Colby.
Okay. I will say, I think that there are some folks that may not care about what Mike White does outside of Survivor. I think that a person like Jenna Lewis, I think, is not going to. She's a mercenary. She's there to get that money. I don't think that she cares like what Mike White has going on his in his TV productions. I think that does Jonathan care about that kind of stuff? I don't know, but I do think that there is a lot of goodwill towards Mike White. He is a legitimate celebrity. I think a lot of people are going to be starstruck. I think a lot of people are going to want to hang out with him. And if he gets his foot in the door, I think that was going to be maybe the issue for Mike, where, okay, if he gets voted out early, if he goes to a tribal council, but I think people will want to hang out with him for at least a little while in the beginning of the game. So I think he has some longevity there. He has 2 close friends of his on the cast in Angelina and Christian. If they go to break up that group of 3, I don't think that people necessarily go to take out Mike White there in that group. And I think that this was one of my 2 original sins with Mike White. He played a really great game in Survivor David versus Goliath, a game that easily could have won if that he wanted it to on day 39. And so I think that Mike White has a lot going in his favor coming back with this particular group. I think that people are going to want to hang out with him and work with him. And if he is up for it, I think that he could bring back a lot of the things he did really, really well, which were not huge parts of the show, where making himself seem absent-minded or might be able to make people think, I don't really care about this. I don't know if people are going to be gunning for him as a threat.
But I think he does want to win. Which is
I did some research here. It took some digging, but I did find his original pet peeve.
Oh, no.
It was pricks who give me crap about the Emoji Movie.
Yes.
Damn.
Like could have seen that one coming.
Where's the clip?
I agree. No, I agree, Rob. I think that I think that I don't care how many people are on the cast who are going to be like, nah, I'm too cool for a White Lotus. I think there's going to be more people that are going to be like, if I have the choice between voting out Mike White or voting out somebody else, and it's like not that big of a deal, why am I not just keeping Mike White around? Because why not? Because he's like, the level of famous that Mike White is now versus when he originally played is so much more dramatic. And he was already very famous when he originally played. The clip I do have is of Melissa going on about Ned Schneebly and me being like, this is what I'm talking about. People are going to want him around because he's Ned Schneebly. And so now he's White Lotus guy. And who doesn't want to be on White Lotus? Who doesn't want to be in connection to a guy that has that much sort of sway in the world of entertainment? I think that will matter a lot. I really do. I don't think that people are going to be like looking to take him out. I think people are going to be looking to protect him.
Yeah. He's going to get so much material for the White Lotus season 4.
Just out of Angelina alone. I think that's why he's just back with her. I'm sure she was like a prototype. I listened to parts of what we recorded in July last year, which they released to the public last week. Like 3 things in my life has changed. I won the draft, I got grenaded, and I watched all of White Lotus. Those are like 3 of the major talking points. And thank God I did. Because now he's on the show, which was so shockingly great. I think he is a really good player who apparently wants to win this time, which could have been the difference the last time, but he didn't win, which is important because he's not coming back as a winner. He definitely has the skills. Rob, I don't know if Rob believes any of this. Like, it's clear that Rob is doing this under duress, or would at least be doing it under duress.
I don't think so. I think Rob means it.
I feel like that he's been a very popular winner pick.
Yeah.
No, he's a great pick. I'm just saying that even if he wasn't a great pick, you'd still be saying this given what happened last time. You could believe it, but you'd be saying it regardless. And I think it's great. I'm really happy that you and Mike White are taking steps to heal, to reconcile. And I hope that you get on White Lotus. And I think we should be doing a different draft another time for who we think of this cast is most likely to get on White Lotus. Because if it is Colby and he has like the 20 years between Curb and White Lotus, that would be a crazy kind of disparity there.
Not TV,
Cirie,
it's HBO.
So
it is
again.
So I don't know. That Survivor didn't cast enough people who are just so sharky to where I would be like, they will cut Mike White just to have that head on the spike. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I would be the guy, right? Who's like, y'all really gonna let Mike White pack us up again? Y'all gonna let this man is a bazillionaire. He's super famous, and now y'all gonna let him win Survivor 50? Absolutely not. Like, that would be my dying words in the game. It's like, take out Mike White. But I don't know if any of these people are gonna have that same type of energy. So maybe he'll do fine.
Okay.
When I think of Mike White's reputation, though, I don't think of like, oh my God, yeah, what a great player. I think of such a fun confessionalist. I think of him with the wine. You think of those like fun moments, right? And it really, you skip over, oh yeah, and he was actually really good. So I'm thinking that will be in his favor as well.
Yeah. I think people are going to forget. People are going to forget how like underrated he is as a player.
Christian has 2 allies.
Look how much this panel is sucking up to Mike White. Imagine him on the island.
No.
I can just picture Q, Emily, Genevieve, just like he is another contestant. Like, I don't care what it's gonna do for me after.
No, not Q.
But I can picture Mike White, Emily, and Genevieve on a reward drinking together. Like, I can picture this in my head.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't think any one of us is gonna be harsh on Mike White's game. I'm just saying.
If he plays poorly, I will say he plays poorly. I don't know.
I won't.
Yeah, well, you seem to like switch your morals left and right whenever.
Oh my God!
I'm very scared of players calling me out. That's what it is.
Really? Yeah. Listen, as someone who had a Traders player,
which was crazy, it's
fine. It's okay.
Britney Spears has been whooped your ass.
I'm not doing it with the creator of the White Lotus and School of Rock. I'm just not. So.
And Enlighten, Shannon.
And the Emoji Movie.
Yeah.
Despicable Me 4?
All right, Mike White is on the board or off the board now at number 7. And now I said something old. I'm going to go something new. And I am also thrilled that this person has fallen to me because I think that they have a great shot to win this game. Give me Tiffany Nicole Irvin.
No, I was about to take her
That is
role.
So nice.
You
He
get
had to
Charlie,
do it
Shannon.
twice.
Yep.
So nice he had to do it twice.
Yes, Rob. Yes, you did it.
This is who I thought I was going to win the Survivor 46 draft with, Tiffany Nicole Irvin. And look, and I've been hard on Tiffany as far as like really Tiffany for Survivor 50, but I've always maintained that to Tiffany herself that if Tiffany ever played again, I think she'd be my winner pick again, because especially other than the only thing that could screw her up.
Say the letter. Say the letter, Rob.
Do it again, Rob.
Is Q.
Big mistake. You shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, that's the only thing that could stop her, I think, because nobody, like Tiffany is a fun hang, good vibes, non-threatening. She came in 8th place. Nobody's like, we got to get out. You know who we need to get out? Tiffany. Tiffany is that she's too big of a threat. She's locked in. Like nobody's gonna want to get rid of her except for if Q sours on her. And honestly, the her and Q thing, I think people might not know how to read it, and they might say like, "Oh, they're fighting." Okay, but that's just how they talk to each other.
Guys,
I'm so upset by this pick.
I think we let Rob into the draft. Like, I think we should reconsider, and I don't think it's too late to change our mind.
I never said I.
You let him cook. He was the last person. Y'all let him cook, and he's cooking.
We all did it. He was last. We all let him
after all. Yeah, I think you're right about this.
Yeah.
Liana, were you pushing back at all?
No, I love the Tiffany pick. She was a person who stood out to me when the original 46 cast came out as just such the sparkly person. And I think she's in such a good spot here. Like, I'm absolutely thrilled for her. I think that she can absolutely cook. I think that and the thing is like, I know some of us are picking our faves. She's a winner pick. Like, I think that Tiffany could absolutely
and a fave. Both.
And a fave.
Both of them.
Yeah, I think that Tiffany is somebody who, just given the way I see the fan reception of this cast, a lot of people complaining about or saying their grievance with this season is that they thought it was going to be a representation of like the show and like all the big eras. And like, why is Tiffany here? Or why is Tiffany here instead of this new era person instead? I think it's going to be similar there. I think she's going to be very underrated there. For me, Tiffany was right behind Genevieve. I very highly rate this pick, Rob. I think you did a little something, man. I think you came into the draft and you're about to maybe snipe another win. Who knows?
Yeah, she's the exact type of archetype who often wins like these all-star seasons where it's like, are we thinking about them? And then
we'll see. We'll see what it's like. I just think nobody's worried about her. Nobody's coming for her. I don't think she's going to rub anybody, maybe except for Q, the wrong way. So I think that she has a lot of longevity. What are you going to say, Taran?
Well, just that she hates spitting. And it makes her want to vomit when she sees somebody spit. It's gross. She can't deal with it.
Very valid.
I think the thing about Tiffany, because I was going to pick her, but I think if you're going to point out a flaw in Tiffany, it's that apparently every single one of her allies always wants to betray her.
And she wants to betray them too. That's make no mistake. She also likes to betray her allies. I think, Taran, my issue is more like I looked at the board and I don't really see any allies for her. Like, she has to go out. I think Tiffany's going to have to actively go out and make a lot of the bonds.
I think she'll find
some of these people are coming in. I don't think she won't. I'm just saying that some of them were walking in with built-in allies. We've talked about Angelina and Mike White and all that kind of stuff. I don't see the person that I'm like, oh yeah, Tiffany and this person are going to run the table. I really think that she's going to have to shake Q and kind of forge her own path, to quote someone else on this panel.
Aysha, I love going to you as the new era correspondent. What do you think about Tiffany?
I love this pick. She was next on my list. I think that the only downside right now is that she is part of the 3 people on a season crew. So if it's a situation where she goes into an early tribal, they're like, we do have Q and Charlie on the other side. We need to chop down 46, just like we're trying to do 48. That could be the only downside for them trying to justify getting her out. Otherwise, Tiffany has been in the mix. She knows a lot of the new era people. She has been out there, and I just think she is the lowest placed person on this cast. Like, everyone else has placed higher than her, in one of their appearances. And so I think that no one's looking at her as an immediate threat. And she is a very social person. I think her social game is her strength. I mean, and she's no slouch at like athletically. So I think the only downside is if they're trying to knock down the same season numbers, that's not going to work in her favor. Otherwise, Tiffany's going all the way.
Yes, Shannon, are you ready to make pick number 9?
I'm upset because obviously I should have gone Tiffany, Charlie. I thought that that you might take Charlie and Tiffany could fall back to me, but who am I to?
But reputation, but Taylor Swift.
Reputation.
I did have them both in the Survivor 46 draft, so
yeah,
so
and I
50-50 shot.
So between I'm gonna go. No, I'm joking. Please no, that's not canon. I'm not taking Q back. I am now gonna have to pivot to another new era person who was, I think, first pick or very, very high up. Was someone on this panel's first pick at the very least. And at the time, I thought that's not a good pick. And in episode 1, I thought this wasn't a good pick. She was meant to be first boot. But through time, she did make it back. I don't think she'll make the same mistakes that she made in episode 1 of Survivor 45, but I do think she could make the same good moves that she ended up making. I'm hoping that some people will see that Emily Flippen will think that she is that kind of Emily. And remember that she's a great player. So I'm going with Emily, and I think this is a good pick.
Okay.
I mean,
people sad.
Ha ha hee hee.
Great.
This is so fun.
I want people to be sad because, with Rob, clearly, when you took Tiffany, I think at least 4 of us were she was my next pick. I want to feel okay, great. So if you guys are sad, I think I've done well.
I have a super soft spot in my heart for financial analyst Emily Flippen. Emily almost gave me a heart attack when she was almost first boot, and I was she was my second pick overall, or first pick, my first pick, second pick overall in the draft, or something crazy. Guy. And I was like, oh,
it was
God,
Brandon Emily.
Brandon Emily.
Yeah.
We were on a roll that time.
I know, honestly. I'm thrilled, right? Emily was a person who was I'm not interested in coming back. I'm not interested in playing again. And here she is. I'm so excited to see. I'm hoping that, as you said, Shannon, those kind of initial mistakes that Emily was making, that's out of her system now. She's coming back. She's a second-time player. She's familiar. She's played with Christian. She's got that connection. I just think there's so much going for Emily, and I'm really excited to see her back.
Anyone else really sad?
I think it's a good pick. She definitely was high on my list because she's 45. You got 100 million people that have played since 45 that are on this season. So I think that the threat of Emily may be lost, and at least the old school players. And I think Emily learned a lot through playing the first time. And, Emily is someone who sticks to her guns. I've played Blood on the Clock Tower with Emily, and she never trusts me, no matter what I say.
Yeah. I think she's going to come in, and I think she's going to play a character of I've changed so much since Survivor, and I think people are going to buy it for a while. But I do think that eventually, I think that there will be some friction that ultimately ends up being a problem for her. So I have a hard time envisioning Emily as the winner of Survivor 50, even though I think she is an incredibly smart player. But I think that people are going to wake up to that like they did in her own season.
Rob's not very high on my picks. All I want is
I
Rob's
do have a
approval,
clip from the original Emily draft.
Do it.
Yeah.
Too broad with her pet peeves. Nearly everything.
What she has.
Thank you, Taran.
She said her pet peeves are nearly everything: chewing, snoring, arrogance, being overly serious, being overly jokey. You name it, and it probably irritates me.
What constitutes
That checks
overly
out.
jokey?
Everything that we've done so far on this
Yeah.
podcast.
Did she name Bruce?
Yeah.
I think she named Bruce. I think she named all of us. I think that playing with her on Blood on the Clock Tower, I have been overly jokey and overly not serious, lying to her for no reason. And she got me. I was lying to her. She was lying to me.
Yeah.
And I got tricked.
Great.
You know who might have an issue with Emily?
Who?
Q. And here's why. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I mean, did you lie?
Did he have again? The man he does that with anybody. He does that with
Yeah.
anybody. I think this is a good pick.
Q might be first boot. I think the way the common denominator we're getting is like the Q issue. So wait, so Emily doesn't like the hee hee ha ha.
No.
That's this whole draft.
It's
No,
the hee hee
too
and the ha
hee hee
ha.
ha ha. Hee hee ha ha is
Yeah.
fine. Overly hee hee ha ha is not fine.
Okay.
Yeah, but keep it cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And Shannon, I would have taken Charlie later in the draft.
yeah, but that doesn't matter to this. You had 2 picks in this 2 picks. You wouldn't have got him later in the draft, probably. That was
You
so
would have
long.
picked Charlie out of the final 4 picks. is what you're
Yeah.
saying.
that's-
No,
thank
I would
you,
take
Rob.
Charlie in the 3rd round.
Your 3rd round.
Well, your third round is the final
The
4 picks.
last. The
Yeah.
final.
Okay. Well, if I was drafting higher.
I'll take
Okay.
Charlie last.
Okay. All right. Aysha.
Okay. I'm gonna go old school.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
Natalie Anderson. Dang it.
Right.
She's not on
Wish.
there.
What did I text you,
Should have
Chappell? Number
Mhm.
one of the
Travesty.
number one snubs.
Yes. But I am truly gonna go
Asia, please don't pick my pick.
not new era.
Okay.
Asia, don't do it.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
You know who-
Angelina.
Oh.
Okay. Woo.
That's
Oh,
the,
yeah.
that's
You
the-
said you know who Chappell's
Asia don't
pick
want to
is?
win. She don't want to win. Okay.
Okay.
Never mind.
Why?
Y'all
Is
don't.
she not
Y'all
a
don't
sleeper
remember David
pick?
versus Goliath. Y'all don't remember
Yeah,
David versus
I
Goliath.
agree
Y'all
with
think y'all do.
Chappell.
Y'all don't. Y'all
Yeah,
don't
I
remember
agree
it.
with Chappell.
No, this is listen.
Wow, you don't want people sighing of relief when you make your pick. That's the worst
Woo.
sound in the world.
And then when I'm winning,
Clip that.
Yeah.
Clip it. I'll
Mhm.
take it. If that happens, I'll do.
I
she
will
can do
I will
cameo
play the
directly to me.
audio.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Asia, talk us through Angelina at pick number 10.
So Angelina was on David versus Goliath, as we know. This is, one of the seasons with 3 people coming from it. That's
Mhm.
okay, though. Okay. I don't see it as I think that's one of the reasons that people may want her out at some point if they all 3 stick around with the threat of those 3 aligning. But I just don't see, even though this is like pre-new era, right? Like this isn't like, oh, you had to be watching 15 years ago to have watched Angelina play. I still think that there are 12 new era players. Like who's prioritizing getting out Angelina? Like you said, even that impression, Chappell, that, oh, y'all forgot. So did they.
Yeah.
So did the new
Yeah.
era players playing. Like they're not thinking, oh, I'm on a tribe with, like, you can name so many people, you can create so many configurations of 6 people that I think that people are not prioritizing getting Angelina out, which is enough time for her to build up some type of elite
Ladder.
to certain people and be fine.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
I
get what you're
think
saying.
I think people are gonna sleep on her.
My issue with
for a
Angelina is
reason.
that my issue with her is that I put her in the same archetype as a couple other people on Survivor who are like they're primarily characters. And so
Yeah.
for me, they have to get out of their character to win Survivor, right? It's like the thing about like Tony, right? Everybody was so shocked that Tony was doing well because he is a character first. And then you're like, oh wait, no, he's really good at Survivor too. Okay, cool. But there's not a lot of players that are able to do both. And I'm concerned that Angelina won't be able to do both.
You don't-
like
Listen, you don't think that getting 3rd place and watching her game back all these years, wanting to play again, is not enough reason for her to pivot and see where she needs to make improvements. She hasn't had enough time. It wasn't like she played last week, like season 48.
like Joe and Camilla.
Right.
Yeah.
Like she has had enough time to analyze her game and see, like, this woman is a businesswoman first and foremost. Like,
She's a
I-
negotiator.
yeah,
we will
Yeah.
we will know
Literally.
we will find out about that for sure.
I think,
During the season.
like she is smart. Yes, she's a character. Yes, she needs your jacket. Yes, she wants more rice. But I think that it's really going to work to her advantage that that's the perception versus what she's able to do.
yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
I
she
think
runs
that-
the Mike White Alliance, right? Like that's
Mhm.
Be good to be Mike White adjacent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chappelle conceded so quickly. It was I'm still like, no, I don't think Angelina
I mean,
can win.
No, I mean I get her point. I don't think Angelina can win, but I
Yeah.
get Asia's
yeah, no, I
point.
get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I just think that you're hoping a lot for her to do it. Like it is possible, but I'm not like betting on it. She has to have the skills to kind of change, not who she is as a person, because that seems a little harsh. I just think like she's slam dunk casting. Absolutely love her as a character, like phenomenal TV. So excited to see her back. I think she'd be fundamentally un-Angelina, or should I say Angelina, if she can win the game. She's not the Angelina I know and love. That's the one I want to see, and I'm hoping I
think it's an interesting thought experiment because I don't know if we have any sort of history of a 0 vote finalist coming back and winning, right?
We only have one finalist
that's never
coming
happened.
back and winning, and it was
right?
Boston Rob, I think. Right.
Boston Rob's the only one who's ever won.
But he got votes.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I wonder though, if you are a person who is a 0 vote finalist, like is there something fundamentally you can change about yourself to turn yourself into a winning finalist? Like, or does the 0 vote finalist like indicate something about you fundamentally that you cannot win a season of Survivor?
Oh, it's like you are a GOAT because you are you. You know,
I think it depends. Like Steven got 0 votes, but like Steven would have won if JT just loses final 3 immunity. So like he's against JT and JT's getting all the votes, and that's why Steven gets 0. I think Angelina is getting 0 votes against Nick Wilson. Yeah. And Mike White, who didn't want to even win, and he got 3 votes.
And Kara K as well. She's not. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think. I think
you guys are too low on Angelina.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I think so.
I mean, I wasn't coming in like she's my top pick or anything, but I think you guys are too low. I think Angelina absolutely could win the game.
Really?
Yeah, I think she's she's like a strong personality. She'll come in. She'll ideally work with Mike White. I think there will be a lot of people that want to work with the two of them if they're able to get together. Yeah. And if she gets to the end again, I think that maybe she has a hard time winning votes, but I don't think she can't win. I think that especially on returning casts, I think that their voting criteria can often be different than new casts.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah,
stop conceding, Chappell.
I do not agree. I just think it's a fair point. I still don't think she is going to win the game.
Stand up, okay? Like you're the worst ally to have in this ever. You're like, all right. I'm like, no, make me the bad guy.
I also think like a lot of the critiques I'm hearing is of an Angelina from season 37. She is years have passed since then. Yeah. She has had a lot of time to reflect on her game. I'm pretty sure she wasn't coming in thinking I'm going to be one of the more iconic memes that has happened on any season. So I don't think she's going to be
what she's thinking.
You know what? I'm going to be more meme. I don't think so. That's like a coach thing. That's like a coach thing.
She's a coach type.
I was meme. This time I'm going to be memer.
That's my issue though. Angelina
I just think
is a coach type archetype.
I think we'll know by like episode 2 if Angelina is just Angelina. I think we could see new and improved Angelina, and I think obviously it's not proven, but I think it could be shown. So we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Aysha,
I hate these points. I disagree.
She is a coach guy. Also, Rob needs more kudos for this time I'm Mima. That was brilliant, Rob.
Thank you.
Good.
Back in the draft.
It's gonna kill in the replay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm giving you the credit right now.
Thank you, Shannon. Okay. All right. Aysha's on the board with the brand new Angelina 2.0, and here comes Taran with a pick number 11 overall.
Man, I've got 2 picks that I want.
We'll keep the other one for you, Taran. Don't worry, we got you.
But I'm gonna go with somebody. I actually wasn't high on this person on their original draft. I said I did not think they were gonna win. In fact, I said that they'd probably be more likely to have their own podcast than win the season. And I was wrong about both because I'm gonna pick Aubry.
Okay. Oh, okay.
You were drafting for ages. You've had so much draft experience.
Shit, Taran.
I'm something old. What that Rob was talking about.
And something blue.
That's true.
For original try.
Aubry. She first of all doesn't like scented things covering bad smells.
Facts.
And then also, Aysha, I'm sorry, she does not like you. She doesn't like revisionist history. So I'm going to rewrite the history of this podcast. I'm sorry. You are now on her list. The thing I like about Aubry is that she obviously knows how to play the game and knows how to play it well. She also, like Charlie, had that sort of like robbed status, but she's now a couple seasons removed from that. So she's got like the respect, but not the immediate threat. I also think that she's in a good position to, I think, have good relationships, ideally, because I think that she can fit in pretty well with like the old school players. but also fit in with new school players if she needs to. The only problem she has, Rob,
Yes.
is Q.
He did not
Q
like
was such
it
good
that
casting.
Mariah's favorite player was Aubry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem. If they put her on a tribe with Q, I might be looking at the grenade. But listen,
Made a mistake.
No, Q might be the grenade. Q is the problem. Like, it's the problem. It's Q.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I really was interested to see Aubry come back. I didn't really think she was really dying to come back and play in Survivor 50. I kind of thought that she had sort of had her Survivor experience and was ready to move on. But here she is. I really kind of have no idea what to expect from Aubry 6 or 7 years removed from the last time she played. I mean, she played so much Survivor in a short period of time. I think, did she play her 3 seasons in 3 years, basically? And now it's like twice that since she's played. So who knows what Aubry, now a mom, is going to be like playing on Survivor. I do think she's more of a quirky character than people think. I think that she has like reputation of like, oh, she's like a female Cochran. And that is not who Aubry is. Jeff even called her, she's a master strategist.
I'm like, no, that's not her either. I think Aubry is a lot of things, though. I think she is a challenge beast. She's also a strategist, but I think she's also very neurotic as well. And that's one of the things that we've seen her get in trouble with in her first seasons or whatever. She doesn't integrate well with the tribe sometimes. Like, she gets a little overwhelmed. And so I think that there's a lot of Aubry energy. You know, she's like very unassuming. I don't think you would know that you're going to get all of that out of Aubry. But I think the narrative would be very fun. I think Aubry being the person who, quote unquote, should have won her season, you know, whatever, depending on where you stand on the end of that argument, and to kind of have like fallen from grace to now come back and win Survivor 50, I think it'd be a pretty cool story to tell. So I would love to see Aubry do well in this game.
Yeah.
We don't know, because it's crazy to think the show has never passed up an opportunity to cast Aubry since she first played. And every available returnee opportunity that she possibly could have played, she's been cast. So at the point where I was processing her loss in Co Wrong, she'd already played 2 more times. Like that, and I was processing it at that point. You know, like I think that she probably could have taken some time to sit with that, but they just kept bringing her back. And now she's, you know, as we said, like in a very different phase of life, and we can't possibly know how that will go. But if it's to her ceiling, then I think that could be great. And I think she is a really good pick. I definitely do think she has win potential. I think we could all be underrating her, and they could be underrating her and kind of sleeping on her a bit because of how it's gone since. But I think she probably was just like exhausted from like the experience of playing Survivor in these like brutal ways since that first loss every year for 3 years. So I think this is a really good pick.
Genuinely, I'm concerned they put her on a tribe with Q and
they will.
people just go
For the
away
meme.
because he's better in challenges.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That would be
100%.
a lot.
If they don't put her on a tribe with Q, that would be shocking to me at that point.
I think the problem with putting her on a tribe with Q is that I think it ends immediately. Whereas if you put him on a separate tribe, you get the build up. You know what I mean?
That's not how they're thinking. They're like, we want this episode 1 storyline right now. Like, God forbid we
never
you can't
risk
to
it. Yeah, what if we never get it? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else on Aubry? All right. Here, let's go back to Chappell. Chappell was sweating these last 2 picks when Aysha was going. And Taran was going.
Yeah. Well, I just was waiting on Aysha because I thought Aysha might pick the same person I was going to pick. That's all. I didn't really think
new
Taran was
or
gonna pick who I
old?
was gonna pick. I'm going old. I in my soul, I think for me, a celebration of Survivor, 25 years of this show, 50 seasons, would be an old school person winning the game. So I don't really care. There is one new school player I would draft, and I just think they're gonna have a hard time. So I'm not gonna even talk about it.
Okay.
But anyway, so I want to pick somebody who I feel like they almost won the game. They almost did it once. And I think that with the new era and all the shenanigans and the challenges and all that good stuff, it would make my heart smile if we had my boy back all the way from Cook Islands to finally close the book on his story. Let Ozzy win the season, and I'd be very happy. So I'm drafting Ozzy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. I like Ozzy. I think that Ozzy has watched a lot of Survivor, okay, because he's been on 18,000 seasons. So at least he's seen the seasons that he's on. We know what he was good at, right? We saw the seasons the things that he was good at. He's good at the challenges. He's a nature boy, all that good stuff. but Ozzy's social game actually improved because people were calling him Prince Ozzy and stuff like that at first. Ozzy has come close to winning Survivor twice. Like I don't want to just like scoff at the fact that he could have won the season where Coach comes back as well. Like, so I don't know. I think maybe a longer game is probably bad for Ozzy, but a fast-paced game where you don't have a lot of time, I think maybe Ozzy's the one who's finding these advantages, who's like completing the beware advantages and stuff like that. Like, I really think that for me, if you're going to tell the entire story of Survivor, yeah, Ozzy being the guy who basically won in a season where we get fire making, come back and win a fire making challenge and win his way to the end. I would love to see it. So I'm going with Ozzy.
Yeah, I think Ozzy coming back now at this particular point in his life, I think is going to be really interesting to see what he's like. And this is our issue where our biggest challenge of not getting to see the interviews and really getting to know like what kind of headspace everybody else is in. Because Ozzy last plays in Survivor Game Changers, which I think was like early 2016, I think, when that was on. So almost 9 years ago since Survivor Game Changers. So we all know about Ozzy's last decade or so, but I think he's a very introspective guy. It's hard to really get a sense of who's showing up on the island.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think Ozzy's anybody's number one threat. Like, who's the guy? What's that? Maybe Cirie, maybe Q. Who knows? But like, I really don't think that anybody's coming out there and be like, we got to get Ozzy out or he will win the game. It's like, who's really like Ozzy? Okay, sure. No, it's like one day we will get Ozzy out. But will you?
I still think that, like, okay, like we mentioned earlier, Cirie is like one of the soul, like Mount Rushmore. But I still think that Ozzy is a household name where people associate survival and challenges with Ozzy. Like, they're still thinking like, oh, yeah. Ozzy, they're like amplifying him in their heads. So if it's a situation where it's just like, oh, we need to get out somebody who I personally think everyone on Survivor 50 is going to prioritize getting out the people they think will do well in individual immunity. And if that's the case, if I'm thinking from that standpoint, Ozzy would be gone early. Because that's what they would like. I can't beat Ozzy, so why would I keep him here?
Yeah,
but counterpoint.
Yes.
Well, no. If it's 3 tribes, which it seems like it might be, and then as you've thought, Rob, that it might be like double tribals early because 24 people in 26 days is insanity. They're going to need the physical threats. It's the deprivation era. Ozzy is a survivalist who can get them food. Like, Ozzy is very useful to them. Like, he's at least very good for average draft placement. Underreported story, this season's going to mess with the average draft placement. There's going to be people 19 through 24. So that's obviously on my mind. So for that, which is obviously the main goal, Chappell, I think this is a really good pick. Can Ozzy win? I don't think no necessarily. I'm not like putting money on it, but I do think he has the capacity. He came very close, to be fair.
Twice.
Yeah. So, well, I don't know. It's coming back multiple times into the game. At least one was planned, but like shenanigans on one of those. But
shenanigans.
Yes, Chappell, to use your terminology. But he did. He his first time he came pretty close. So I think he could win, and I think he's not going anywhere for a long, long time where he's like very physically and like island necessary for them.
I think Angelina has a better shot of winning than Ozzy does this season.
Oh, okay. Ozzy, who lost by 1 vote.
Yeah.
Like
crazy.
How many years ago? Let's be real here. The first chance this man doesn't have individual immunity, he's gonna be looked at. He's just gonna be looked at.
But there's a good chance that he
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's been a while. Like, the thing about Ozzy is that he just doesn't play well with groups. He's such a solo player.
Right.
And the reason he came close to winning twice was in both instances basically purely on his competition ability. And does he still have that level of competition ability in the new era where the competitions are not quite the same, and in a field of now younger people than him, many of them? And so, like, does he still have the one thing that really was his like superpower? Probably not, but he still has the reputation for having that, which is like the worst case scenario. And when it comes to like the social game and the strategy, it's just never been what he really does. So it's hard to see like a super successful run for Ozzy, in my opinion.
But Rachel just won out to the end, which was what I was saying, that the physical threats could do it. And if any cast can do it, this cast will have shields for Ozzy, which is kind of crazy. Like, maybe when he loses immunity, you want to get him, or maybe you want to get like Jonathan.
Maybe you want to get Jonathan. Maybe you want to get Christian. There are other people.
And exactly his type of people, right? Like, the Joes and maybe we'll coach this. We'll talk. There's obviously
Yeah,
history
Joe
there,
ain't
but,
voting out Ozzy. Yeah, that's
Ozzy,
not happening.
Like
Yeah.
he's got his people in this cast. Do I think it's a good season if Ozzy wins? No, I'm a little bit concerned about how that's gone. But
Coach and
I think
Ozzy do not get along though.
That's a bit of a concern. That is
Well, I do know. I found an interview. I'm sure this has been brought up on the podcast before, but he did an interview with Dalton Ross a few years ago where he said he would have loved to play with Stephen Fish.
Oh,
yes.
Well, he loves fish.
Ozzy said that. Yeah, he loves
Yes.
fishing. Yeah.
Yes, he would have loved to play with Stephen Fish. He does love fish.
He did so much research. It's crazy.
Yeah.
He deserves this draft.
I mean, Ozzy was my winner pick in Survivor Game Changers. I don't remember why I was so bullish on Ozzy coming back.
Because you had no reason to draft Sarah Lucina. That's why.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I just felt like that he was kind of flat in Game Changers. But who knows? Maybe that because he's not known as somebody who's super strategic. Maybe that is something that helps him. Where people, maybe it's like, well, he's not really the challenge guy he used to be, and he's not super strategic. So. We don't need to worry as much about Ozzy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Pooya. It's been a minute since Pooya took Genevieve at number 2. We're back to Pooya at number 13.
Yeah, hello. That's me.
Taylor number. See? You did this on purpose.
Oh, no. Now I don't feel good about this. But listen, here's
voodoo.
the thing. We are truly in the middle of the draft. I think one of the things I also find with returnee seasons is I do not think ultimately they can truly be predicted. It's very tough. But I fancy myself someone who's going to gamble even further than just gambling on a returnee season. I'm going to pick someone who I have no idea about them. I know nothing about them. We will not know anything about them.
A 49er?
A 49er.
Such a
I know
cop-out.
about them. I didn't know.
I'm picking a 49er. I mean, Taran's going to teach me about them because I don't know.
You can pick woman 49er or male 49er.
I'm picking woman 49er.
Oh, that's not a gamble as much. Come on.
Tara's like, boo, boo.
This is so early for the the box picks. Like I feel like there were still some people who because at the point where you're going completely unknown, you're like everyone else is a negative to me. I don't know if we were at that point yet.
So I know nothing about the woman from Survivor 49. I really don't.
Yeah.
I think
God.
I see her name in the chat, and that I don't know her last name. I don't know. I'm assuming she's a young person.
Well,
She's 31, I believe.
Yeah.
Or in her early 30s.
Yeah, 31 is
Yeah.
what I saw.
This is crazy. I really thought the audience was just going to end up with 49.
Now-
Same.
Pooya, is this a mystery box or is there some
You got some intel?
yeah.
I mean, listen, the reality is it is truly a mystery box. I'm just going to be very honest. When I look at the remaining people on the board, literally any one of them could be our winner, but I just don't see it right now, which means I'm not really looking that way. There's some people I could pick with the guarantee that, they're going to go far. They're not the grenade, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to, I would rather I want to see a surprise. So I'm very much here for it. And, we'll see what happens. At the end of the day, this is what I'm looking at, right? I'm looking at the returnees from the new era. We've already talked about the fact that Tiffany is the lowest placing person from the new era, right? At what, 8th place? And I still think 8th place is nothing to look like sideways at. I think is a good placement. So I think 49 people probably did decently, or at least were enough of a sight to behold to be put on this season. So I think coming in as a blind item is tough because no one knows who you are. But I also think if you've got good social, that's enough to hold you for a little bit.
Yeah. I will say Michaela and Zeke came back, and Michaela didn't even make it to the merge. Zeke was 9th place. So it's not necessarily
Yeah.
That was all over the place.
Right.
Look, that's going to be hell for the 49 draft, but we don't need to think about that today.
Yes.
The way that this is messing up without thinking of the 40, don't even think about it.
Asia.
With that scenario, Michaela and Zeke did not win, right? Millennials versus Gen X. And so I'm like, with 49, in what world are you bringing someone back who just won a month ago? That would
Kyle?
be insane.
Today? He won today.
Year.
He won today.
It's never happened, right? That they brought back the person who
Guys,
won.
don't think about it. Don't read into what it says about
No.
the
I guess
Russell
would have been Russell would have been the closest.
They thought he
was
was one.
Yeah, they brought
thought
back.
he
but I
Thought he
mean,
was. Yeah.
Yes.
okay.
They were all shocked. The world was shocked. They voted for him and was shocked.
I
would have
picked this mystery box over many of the people in the cast. But I still think I had a couple that I would have gone to before the Miss Girl. But it's not like that would have been last. Like, it's not like necessarily the audience is getting the 49ers. Like, there's definitely some net negatives, I think, on the cast. I just think we still had some positives. But I have nothing to say. We have never seen this person play. We don't know anything.
Yeah, like the dream is we watch 49 play out and everyone's like, oh my God, that's a sick
Pooya
pick.
got a steal.
Yeah. It's like a time capsule. We'll we'll look back at this and either laugh or I'll cry. Who knows?
Imagine if she's like Q.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, I might have to sit down. Why have I done this? No, I don't know.
The biggest troll of all time is it's this lady like a pre-merge boot, and like her entire cast is like
she just thought was
but her entire cast is like, this is who you picked. This is who you're like.
No one else wanted to come back so soon. They just played. She was the only one they could get. Maybe
They're like, she was such an iconic first boot.
Right.
I told Pooya, I was like, maybe they both got medevaced, and this is like a Bruce situation.
I was like, come on
back, Bruce.
Well, we'll know if Aysha picks them next time.
Oh, good. Yeah.
All right. Anything else on our
what could we possibly
Survivor?
Should I give my report, or are we being vague?
Oh yeah.
Snap! You know what?
All right, skip ahead if you don't want to know anything about this before Survivor 49. Taryn has a report. Yeah,
it's not a very extensive report. She basically she was an anchor, news anchor on like a local news show. She's a journalist. She recently quit her job. I imagine to play Survivor.
Not because she won Survivor.
She said in the post, I'm so excited to see what crazy plans God has lined up for me next. Hopefully,
this God?
Better work-life balance. And according to all of the comments, she was fairly beloved in her role as a news host person. So maybe she can work with Devens.
She doesn't sound like you.
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah. I will say, I just on the little look-see I took on the photos, wasn't getting the chaos vibes. So
okay. All right. So Pooya is in at number 13, and Liana's going to go for 2 picks. Her second and third and final pick at 14 and 15.
All right.
I am shocked, like absolutely gobsmacked that this person is still on the board. Call me a hero. Call me a healer.
I knew it.
Call me a hustler, baby. Chrissy Hofbeck. I
knew you would do it.
To me.
That was my other pick. Her or Aubry.
Yeah, that's actually, it's so funny. Those are the two I was between as well. So I'm so thrilled. Like when Chrissy's name popped up on the list, I was like, oh, yeah, Chrissy. Like there was this just excitement that came back to me for having the opportunity to play again. She is part of that lost era of the show, the post Game Changers, and especially Heroes, Healers, Hustlers right after Game Changers. I have a very special place in my heart for Chrissy Hofbeck, and I'm so excited to see her play.
Yeah, she's one of the people from that like 35 over before new era that I thought should be on, but is going to lose their chance because they waited too long. I genuinely did not expect her to be on the ballot at all. I didn't. It was a very pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
This is a clip from me talking about Chrissy in the original draft.
Chrissy is probably my favorite person on the cast right now, but I don't know. I feel like she might be the kind of person that gets close, but then gets cut, like a Cirie kind of figure here.
Oh.
Yeah,
this sounds fake.
Did you slice the audio? I heard a cut in there. I edited a lot of
I made the clip shorter. I don't want to make this like a minute-long clip.
No, y'all, he sounded so young. That was real.
Yeah, I don't know who child is on this clip.
You think about your old drafts a lot.
Taryn.
He won
a lot of them before we showed up.
Yeah, just you've flipped a lot of those. Where you haven't flipped that much from our drafts.
I'm sorry, Shannon. You're the person that's constantly giving me crap for not prepping for these drafts. And now all of a sudden, now that I've done some prep work, I've shown you up. Now you feel underprepared and you're trying to take me down a level. That's how it is.
No, I don't feel unprepared. I was spoken to by Taylor Swift. Like, I feel fine. I think it's impressive what you've done. I'm just like, I didn't realize you had other friends. It's fine. So,
Chrissy.
yeah, I mean, Chrissy is an interesting pick. When I did the reactions with the global podcast, Nick and Eden had her as their winner pick. We did winner picks. And
wow.
They both had her. Yeah, they both had her. So I definitely see that. We did have the discussion of like, looking back at it, everyone looks like Chrissy was meant to win and then the fire challenge was introduced and maybe now is taken away, which would be kind of an ironic way to bookend that. If it like affects her, she can go through without it. But then we think back and it's like, was Chrissy gonna win? Was she ever winning with that jury? Was Devin actually the one who got screwed over by fire, but it's been Mandela affected?
So that is a great point about Chrissy, where the people that played with her on that season, they did not love her. And there was a stretch of time where a bunch of the players who got voted off were very hard on Chrissy, culminating in Desi's exit interview, if we go back to that, where she really was very down on Chrissy. And so a lot of the people in that cast, that Chrissy was not their favorite person. She certainly did a great job and won 4 immunity challenges to get to the end. I just wonder, I do think that this is a good draw for her in terms of like the people that are here, especially a lot of these people who played in the late 30s, I think are going to get along really well with Chrissy. I think the 3 people from Survivor 37, I think Rick Devens, Aubry, I could see getting along with Chrissy. So I do think that she could have some allies there, but she isn't always the most popular player in the game, and her social game, I think that there are some holes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like she doesn't have like the one glaring error, I would say, to her game, right? And there's a lot of them to me that's like, if you look at them, you're like, you're not good at this. Like I think Chrissy she doesn't have the best social game, but I think it's fixable. And so I would be very high on her, ability to kind of come back from the things that she wasn't able to do well. I mean, like if Ben doesn't go and find 18 idols, maybe she wins the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it is possible. It just wasn't like a good group for Chrissy. Although to be fair, like the jury not wanting to vote for you 2 extremes is a very, very damning flaw. But I met her really briefly. She was so lovely. Like I would have voted for her from the little amount of time I spent talking to her. So maybe it just wasn't a good group for her. And I also think usually quite a tough demographic, but in this cast, with, as we said, like older parents, she has a phenomenal story since coming back, having gone through, I think, breast cancer. So I think she's a great casting pick. I'm really glad she wasn't overlooked in that late 30s group. I think it could go either way. So I think, yeah, especially getting her here is a really good pick. But I see the issues, but I think it's still pretty good.
And I think if I remember correctly, it was like the young kids that didn't really vibe with Chrissy. And
yeah. What was the women?
I think it was the older people too.
It was the women.
Yeah,
and the older people, and then
Joe Mena really didn't care for her. Also,
Ben didn't like her.
Okay, well, I take back my point about this cast.
Rourke hated her. Yeah, there were so many.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Her pet peeve, by the way, originally, when someone doesn't hold a fork correctly and eats like a caveman.
Mm-hmm. Christina Radke didn't like her. No, I'm joking. I'm just making up stuff. But yeah, I think Chrissy is probably underrated amongst this group. I think like they probably don't remember that she is a legitimate threat to win the game, and so she's probably gonna do pretty well.
Yeah. And look, all these players could make adjustments, especially these one-time players. I do think that there's a lot of unknown with the one-timers who are coming back more so than the people we've seen 3 and 4 times coming back. So there could be potentially a pivot for Chrissy that could really help her in this game. And I think she's somebody that, even though she was a finalist, I don't think a lot of people are saying, oh, we have to get out Chrissy. We're very worried about her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
she
exactly.
could sneak up on people.
That's the hope.
All right. Liana.
She also was a financial analyst, if I'm not mistaken, at one point. Yeah,
I think she was an actuary.
That became her heroic title, but I think she did both.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to Liana for the 3rd and final round. Kick us off with pick number 15.
I'm torn between 2 people. I don't have anyone from the new era. And I don't have anyone that I drafted previously.
Oh.
So I'm going to correct that. 2 birds, 1 stone. Give me Joe.
Joe. Okay.
Look, he just played yesterday, Liana.
I know he just played yesterday. Look,
he just got back.
Do I think Joe will win? No.
That's what this round is all
Do
about.
I want Joe on my team?
Safety.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, well, what's the vision?
I think Joe will go far. I think that's the thing. When I'm thinking about Jonathan, when I'm thinking about Joe, I'm thinking about these guys who are like maybe going to be good in a group, can be picked up, will be loyal, can make it deep into the game. And then who knows, maybe some shenaniganizing happens. Now, obviously, I'm in the same situation with losing finalist, right? Someone who we thought was going to do super well, got 1 vote. Thanks, Cedric. So look, I don't know. I have no idea how this is going to go, but this is what my gut is telling me. And so I'm excited about this pick.
My thing about Joe is if I just watched 48, I wouldn't want Joe in my alliance. He was so easily tricked to turn on his actual loyal allies. I'd be so scared to have Joe in my alliance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great.
And then also like the goal, you would hope that Joe watched it back and has now saw the thing. He saw the tape and said, okay, I saw what I did wrong. I can change and do better. But that would be antithetical to who Joe is, because then Joe would have to not be the beloved character that we got on the screen. He would have to do the opposite, the thing he despises the most, Liana.
Yeah. Remember when Mary said she was going to vote for him?
Yeah. She was like, what?
Okay, but like, the thing is, though, is like, okay, he even with the whole Kyle pulling the wool over his eyes, he has the confessionals where he's like, is Kyle playing me? Like, there's some instincts there. Like, I think it's there. I'm hoping that with a whole week to recover and he goes right back out there, I'm just hoping that there will be some recovery for him. So you know what? I'm willing to risk it. And like, we went into Game Changers and I'm like, would I have said Brad Culpepper would be sitting at the end? Absolutely not. So I'm hoping we get a similar outcome for Joe.
And I think that the Joe win condition, I think, is that he has a run like a Brad Culpepper where they leave him around and then he wins like the last like 3 or 4 challenges and ends up winning his way into the end with maybe some people that the jury doesn't see as worthy, and then he could get the win that way. But I think he needs to like come from the underdog position more so than where he was like being seen as a person who was holding the alliance together.
But I think like, who's gonna let him hold the alliance together? Right? Like, I don't know. I'm hoping that that's an opportunity.
When I met Joe, sorry.
No, you're a new era correspondent. Please tell us about Joe.
Please.
When I met Joe, my first impression, this man is so charismatic. So likable. He makes you feel like you're the only person in the room when he's talking to you. Like, if that's what you're getting when you're interacting with Joe, your first thought isn't, oh yeah, you did just make final 3. No, they see, okay, he was 3rd place. There are actual winners here we could get out, but at least Joe can be useful. I think we're in that territory now of avoiding the grenade. So I think Joe is a solid pick. And I think Joe can go further than what we expect.
Yeah, I'm in 2 minds about it, because my first part is like, as we've said, this could be a good season for him. Like, we see that contingent possibly shoring up, and that would be a good vibe for him, that kind of like mateship, loyalty, physical mentality. But the other aspect of that is he just had that and he still didn't win. And the reasons he lost were so fundamental to who he is as a person and a player, where, I mean, I'm sure he does seem like a complete sparkly person. He seems like the best person. He seems like an incredible person, but there are issues that people have with it that they don't want to reward with a jury vote. And I think that's so hard to turn around. Like, that's not just like a couple of little things to try and change. And it's also so recent to try and change it compared to like an Angelina, where we're like, well, at least she's had the time to really like work through this. So I do think it's a good setup for him, but also I thought he was winning until the votes were read. So what do I know? Like, I'm too high on Joe. So maybe I need to like check myself with that.
Even after Final Tribal?
Yeah, I kind of did.
I kind of
thought when it was 1-1-1, I still thought, is Joe gonna win here still? I was drinking the Kool-Aid though.
But that's the thing. The Kool-Aid was strong, and I think that's the thing he had against him the most, is that it's kind of like what Rick Devens had during his season. Everyone was looking at Rick the entire season like Rick is going to win. So people started to root against him because it was like, obviously the season's going to be boring because Rick is about to win. We just did that with Joe yesterday. Like it just happened. And so I'm like, how do you forget? How do you not remember the Joe, run that he just had on Survivor, despite his outcome? I think like at the merge, we're worried about Ozzy getting taken out first at the merge. The moment Joe doesn't win a challenge, I'm come for his neck every time.
Okay. Hey, and that's good for someone who just played, right? Like, I think it just played and made it so far. And let's also not forget, I have a clip here. No, I'm kidding, I don't. Joe's preseason interview with Mike Bloom, he said he did not like Dee's game.
Nope.
So I think that'll be very interesting if they are, if that's what they're going for. Like, do all of these players have some type of beef that they, like,
no, there's no connective tissue across the board with these people.
Yeah,
this is a
like
random
there's gonna
cast,
be
and that was crazy that they came up with this.
There's a web that they're going to show us on episode 1 about how they're all connected, just like the fans of Survivor.
Okay. All right. Liana, anything else you want to say about Joe?
No.
Okay. All right. So Liana is locked in with her draft team of Cirie and then Chrissy and Joe.
What a team.
Okay. All right. Pooya just shocked the world with season 49 female, and also we got Genevieve.
What's happening here
That
with
is
season
shocking.
49 female? Oh my god.
Yeah, I fear the shocks may not be over here because listen, I'm of two minds here.
You're going for the pair?
Listen. That did cross my mind, but I don't think so. Let me be honest with you. I've spent the decent 5 minutes of this last 5 minutes. I don't know what y'all said about Joe, but I'm sure it was very good points because I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to end my draft here. Because I do think there are safe picks to not only not get grenaded, but then also, and if you're a Shannon, you're trying to bump up that average draft placement.
Yeah, I don't even have that. That sounds like a
I'm not doing none of that. So I'm not looking at some of these people who could just go far. I'm doing something that some of you might think is kooky, but listen, bear with me here. I want to stare the grenade in the face because I think this could be a concern. There are 2 announced winners here. One of them I picked and won the draft with. The other, arguably the best new era winner, as touted by many. Someone who I came to regret not picking.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're the top 2.
It doesn't narrow it down.
Ariana stop it.
And then I regretted not picking this person in the draft where they inevitably did become the winner.
Here we go again.
D. I want D on the team.
Okay.
Give me a winner on
Queen.
I do not. I think D can maneuver not being the grenade. I do.
Yeah. D falls very far, all the way to pick 16. She does have the winner curse here coming back, but if you're just looking at the most well-rounded players that are on the board, you can't go wrong with picking talent at this point in the draft.
Yeah. Skill.
Pooya, you literally just robbed me of the opportunity of picking D third again.
I know, but listen, we can swap winners.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
No, this is a good pick. This is a good pick. This is the only person from the new era I even considered picking, and I knew that she has the first. I mean, she has the winner curse on her. But D is great. What is D's flaw in the game? Find it. It doesn't exist. So it's we will be finding out more about D that we never even learned about if she plays a bad game, because all we've ever seen her do is excel at Survivor. There's no reason to not pick her except she already won. So I think this is a great pick.
Right.
I think snaking Genevieve and D from Asia was crazy work, Pooya.
Crazy.
He doesn't like me. It's okay.
Yeah, it's pretty epic.
I gave you my favorite number. We can share the teams, Asia. We root for each other. That's how it goes. We root for each other.
Share it. I mean, D is a great winner. I think people are now coming around on D in the wrong way. It's when there's time. It's maybe she wasn't that good. It's no, she actually was.
No,
you know what I mean? Great. Now people are but what about this, and this? I'm no, she was so solid. Well, if Austin hadn't done that, she made Austin do that. She wielded all of her superpowers to win in a very impressive way. I think it's the best win of the new era. I think, and if people are lower on it just because it becomes interesting to have a debate about it over time, which it's kind of getting to now, that could be good for her. It is very, very tough to be one of just a couple of winners. That's obviously, we're looking at that, but I was still going to take D, next if I could. If she was going to fall to me, I was definitely taking her. So I think this is a really good pick.
I think Emily will work with her if they are somehow connected.
Absolutely.
I do feel like that she will go to bat for Kyle, which is one of the reasons why I'm a little worried with Camilla and Kyle, that Camilla could be the person who ends up going out if they're in some kind of all new era grouping at any point. So I think that D is somebody who I think that she has some outs to be able to get out of just avoiding the person who is a winner that we just need to get rid of.
Yeah. You can't spell Sandra Diaz Twine without.
I also think it's terrifying that D not only won, but also has a whole another season of a show that's coming
Yeah.
out before, like, they know that, like, I would imagine people going on 50 have done their research and know that, oh, like, I don't know. They know that she has the ability to even go on this other show. And so it's one of those things where it's just like, I don't know who is aligning with her. Like, okay, you may, like, the only reason I was thinking of picking D was because I could easily see her being in a situation on a tribe that does not lose first. I could see that happening. She is in tip-top shape. I be getting like workout tips from watching her stories. Like, she is in peak condition.
Yeah.
But I don't see an ally in this group who's wanting to hang on to the only winner that's a woman on this cast. That's my biggest fear with her, and that's my biggest worry. Like, even if she goes to the first tribal, they're going after her.
Yeah. She benefited from having a very strong alliance also in Survivor 45. And it was a very strong alliance that she was really at the center of, that she had an incredibly close relationship with Mama J. And I don't know if there's going to be one person who's going to be undyingly loyal to her like that. But she also had that with Austin as well. So she had two people who she was able to keep incredibly close to her in that specific game. So it's going to be very interesting to see what she's able to do without that here in Survivor 50.
Yeah.
Right.
She did that.
The way that she
earned that.
won her game was to get her allies to lay over and die for her, basically, which is
amazing.
It's just a very impressive way of winning the game. Does it work in an all-star season? I would normally say no, but I also watched Winners at War, so it's like, who knows?
Yeah,
Often, yes.
feel like
in Australia it did.
to bring up the other show that she will have featured on, a show where politicking is very much a part of the game, talking and socializing and making bonds that you got to stick to or try and stick to. I think it's huge training for not only a returnee season, but also whatever the pregame was. We haven't even really talked about that a whole much. I have no idea what these people did going into the season, but that's a lot of gameplay there in and of itself. So I do agree, obviously, being one of two winners, maybe three, we don't know three, but being one of two winners is a huge target. But I would be willing to bet on D being someone who can at least fight that for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, she's so good. She's so good.
Yeah.
People
All
in
right.
the chat are debating about she should have gone home at Final Five. She had two people who were giving up their games for her. It was unlikely she would go home at the Final Five because she was so well insulated, because she earned that and she gave herself the permission or the space to make a couple of mistakes and still be so protected. That was the D missed. So it was great.
All right. We still have 5 picks left in the draft. There are 8 players left before Chappell makes his pick at number 17. Then let's just reset and mention who is still on the board right now.
Yeah.
Okay, for the audience. Still on the board is Jenna Lewis, Colby, Stephanie, Coach, then I think that's it for the old era. And then in the new era, Jonathan, Q,
Kyle
and 49.
and
49 male.
49 male. Okay. All right.
It's getting a little lean here at the end of the draft board.
It always does. But luckily, this time we don't have to go all the way to 18.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And even so, it's getting a little lean.
It's not the worst season to have the last pick.
Yeah. My turn?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I've been talking about narratives here because I really want this to be a good season with a cool story. And what cooler story would the winner of Survivor 50 be, if not from coming from season 1 of Survivor? I'm going with Jenna Lewis.
Jenna Lewis.
Jenna Lewis, man. Jenna Lewis, baby.
Yeah,
Jenna
we're on the
Lewis.
same page today. That was like, I'm like, that is the next pick right
That's
now.
the season. That's the show. That's, that we're all tuning in for that. And I struggle with not picking Jenna Lewis earlier, honestly, because I think that if she won, she would win the type of game I would like to see, which is somebody who is not afraid to come in and cut the goats, right? They're like, I'm coming for the winners. I'm coming for your faves. Because who's like, Jenna Lewis is my fave of all of these people. Like the stands are out there. Hey, Jenna Lewis, stand account. Please don't come after me. I thought we were on the same page. But yeah, like I think that she's coming in and she's looking at the rest of them and being like, y'all think y'all hot shit. Okay, bet. I'm taking y'all out. We saw her do it in All Stars and we hated it because she was taking out our faith. So they started this narrative that the winners and winner adjacent people, Rob, couldn't go far in the game. She needs to do that again. Jenna Lewis needs to go and carve her way through this game with an ice pick. And I would love to see it. And so that's why I'm picking Jenna Lewis.
Yeah. She will not have kid gloves on with any of this stuff. I'm sure I have not spoken to Jenna Lewis since it was just mentioned in the chat that I interviewed her during Survivor Cambodia. So 10 years ago, I'm sure she hates all the new era, like touchy-feely, like flashbacks and everything. That's not who she is. Jenna Lewis, like as a player, is just, I think that she is a mercenary. I've used that word a couple of times with her. And I think that that's how she looks at this. Now, can she win if she gets up into the final three? I think that, like Chappell mentioned, she does have that beautiful full circle story. I was in season 1. Now I didn't win. I'm here in season 50. Give me the money. But I just wonder, she is not going to be there to make friends.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't want her to make friends. But I don't want her to make friends. I want her to come in and kill it. I want her to come in and kill it to where she's undeniable. You know what I'm saying? Like where at the end they're like, damn, we don't even want to vote for Jenna Lewis, but we got to give it to her. You know, like she did the things.
And I'm telling you, she cannot wait to sink her teeth into Jonathan.
Or Joe. You think she's not gonna latch on to one of these big dudes?
Yeah, one of those guys that is going to be her key alliance.
Yeah. Because neither one of them know how to be played the first time. Go ahead, Liana, my bad.
Well, no, but Chappell, so that was the other part. I was considering picking Jenna. And I think for that, I would love like her, Chrissy Hofbeck, maybe a little bit of Genevieve in there. Like I want these like cutthroat ice queen women to all come together and like kill. That would be absolutely so fun.
Yeah.
There is obviously a little bit of, I've just diversified my portfolio a little bit by going with a meat man. So that was the only reason why I didn't end up picking Jenna, but I'm thrilled for Jenna. I really, really want to see what she's going to do. And I'm hoping that she can find her footing and like be that mercenary that Rob described.
Fun fact about Jenna Lewis. In the 3 years between Survivor Borneo and Survivor All-Stars, her favorite movie changed from Austin Powers to Fight Club.
Oh. But, you know what, though? That makes it, that Fight Club is totally a Jenna Lewis movie.
Right.
Also, keep her in check. It's like, why is the discrepancy? What happened? Did you stop liking Austin Powers, or did you only now just watch Fight Club? Like,
that's all I watch now.
I think she's been through a lot in her life. I mean, she was somebody who came in. I mean, she probably has been through a lot from before she went on Survivor. She was a single mom when she ended up, having her life completely upended by Survivor. She went through meat grinder, which was that whole experience, comes out of that, and then goes into Survivor All-Stars and all the things that came out of that experience. So she's just been around this thing for so long, and I'm sure she's seen a lot of stuff. I believe she's a mom of 4 now. She's been doing real estate, I think, in Orange County for quite some time. I've seen a lot of Facebook posts about she seems to be very successful. Maybe she's going to be somebody who is able to work with Q and bond with him about that. But she is a really tough lady, Jenna Lewis, and I don't think anybody should mess with her.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Taran, play a clip from when you drafted Jenna Lewis the first time.
In the womb.
Yeah, give me a second. It's right here.
I love Jenna Lewis. I'm 2.
Mama.
8. I'm sorry, 8.
Yeah. I was 7, but it feels so long ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like
I'm
the
happy.
pick. She was next on my list.
All right.
Yes.
Jenna Lewis goes to Chappell, and Chappell's team is locked for season 50. He's got Rick Devens, Ozzy, and Jenna Lewis.
Okay.
Yeah. Old era only, baby. These new era people shouldn't be on this season. Get them out of here.
If we did predictions at the beginning of who do you think is going to end up on whose team, I would have never predicted this team for Chappell. It's a very interesting team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I kind of, it's hard. I really want to say like a lot of it is based on like, you know, how they done. But it is. But there's definitely a lot of like, but I love these people. These are our Survivor faves that we've watched over the years. And then, you know, obviously, so I've grown to like a lot of them a lot. And I want to just see my faves do well. And so I had to pick them because I want them on my team. That's all.
All right. Let's go to Taran.
Okay. I feel like I've got a few options and they're all pretty similar. I have one option, but there's like 3 people that can slot into this spot. Basically.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Now everyone comes crawling back to the meaty men. When there are only meaty men left, and a lot of this cast is meaty men.
Shannon's like, okay.
No, I don't want to. I don't want
to meat. Yeah.
That's me. I love meat, famously.
Yeah.
Man, I'm genuinely torn because I feel like there's an argument in either direction. But I think I'm gonna go with one of my previous draft picks.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick Jonathan Young.
Jonathan, okay. I think that probably a chalk pick. People probably thought Jonathan was not going to get drafted. All right, talk us through on Jonathan.
His pet peeve is wearing shirts.
I'm about to say, look at those abs. Dear God.
I feel like the argument for Jonathan is I think he's probably going to stick around for a while.
Yes.
He made it really far in his original season, further than you would expect somebody of his stature to get. And I think that if you're on a tribe with him, I think that you want him around. Once he gets to the merge, I feel like where he might not have had the respect to win his original season, even if he had made it to the end, I think that there are enough meaty men on this season that they might actually vote for him. Like I feel like the Colbys and coaches and Aussies and Joes, like they're all going to be like, yeah, give it up to Jonathan. He drinks 2 gallons of milk every day.
He eats 21 eggs.
25 eggs, 50 eggs for season 50.
Yeah.
Like a guest
and I think he's gonna really clean house in a lot of the challenges. He's one of the younger guys on the cast.
Jonathan Young.
And so yeah, I just
that's why they call him that.
That's what I call him that.
This is where I feel like he is.
Well, I mean, that shot of him like dragging his whole tribe through the water is like emblazoned in my mind. So I think that you can't discount that. No way this man is grenaded. Like total safe pick for that.
Yeah. Insurance
and
there.
Again, like I just think like who's gonna vote out Jonathan?
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like there's bigger threats than him, even when you get to individual immunity stages.
Shannon, I feel like that you probably know Survivor 42 the best on the panel. Do you remember Jonathan's social game? I really don't remember. Like the only thing I remember is the tribal council where Drea and Marianne both played their idols and him coming off badly there. But I really don't remember much else that Jonathan did socially in Survivor 42.
I feel
I remember Lindsay was getting annoyed with him in the post merge.
Yeah, he had a good relationship with Mike, and then I feel like he was kind of gifted this great like Taku alliance, but I don't know if that was like on the back of social graces. I don't know if it was terrible, but I'm not like really backing his social game. I'm surprised that I didn't draft Jonathan last time. It kind of feels like something that I would have done, but
for sure.
Yeah, I mean. Also, there are a lot of gamers on this cast. Is Jonathan gonna like outgame them? And also, to be fair, Jonathan like made fire and he lost in like he should be winning that type of game. So I don't know. I don't feel great about his chances. Like we are in the middle of Fiji. We don't need no more meat, baby. But maybe this is his cast.
Good. I do suspect he has been coached up by Boston Rob. I don't know necessarily like, if you can, get taught by a bird how to fly. But I think that Boston Rob probably has taken him under his wing.
I would say less so Island of the Idol, like give you advice on how to play the game, and more so opening up the connections that Boston Rob has would be much more valuable.
Yeah. Taran, who on here would you say like Boston Rob is probably like put Jonathan in the door with good. Like he knows Jenna Lewis.
I'm not up on the relationship.
family
Well,
tree.
I mean, Rob does know everybody, but I feel like that other people. I mean, Coach is somebody that has a direct connection to Rob.
Oh God! Oh my God!
Probably
the season's
Colby.
a disaster.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I think a lot of these men are gonna be wanting to work together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Jonathan's probably not going to tribal council at all in the pre-merge. Like, it's just not going to happen. So they're not going to have a lot of chances to get him out anyway into the individual game. So it'll be tough to take him out. Now, I don't know if he can stand in front of a jury and plead his case and win $1 million like that. I don't know.
But when Coach and Colby and Joe are on the jury,
then it wouldn't take much. You're right. God.
Oh my God!
Shannon, what are we? He's right. When he's right, he's right. What are you gonna do?
Season's not that. Why would you put that out into the universe? Like, that's what you're manifesting? Is that how you get
it's
the
what
win?
I did. I said Jonathan's my boring pick when I picked him originally, and it didn't happen. So maybe what I'm doing is helping make it not happen again.
Look, great for the average draft placement, right? Like, he's going to be essential in this early game. He's not going anywhere for a while, which is why, again, I'm really shocked I didn't pick him. But Rob, you were keyed in. You drafted him to come back, right? He was one of your picks to come back, and he was a lock from so long. So.
Look, he is somebody from the Survivor Facebook page, beloved, and I think that he is the one person who really fits that category. The audience loves somebody who is really different from the rest of the mold, and he certainly had that. So I always felt very strongly that we would see him come back, especially when it was a New Era All-Stars.
Yeah.
And he's the one representative from 41 to 44. So like Gil said, I think he's
like old school now.
Yeah, I think he's going to be with the old school people.
I mean,
I think that'll help.
Same reason I picked Aubry, where I feel like he has the ability to work with both sides.
Okay. All right. So 3 picks left in the draft. Aysha has pick number 19. We have now this is the longest draft in the history of our drafts.
And it feels like it.
We did it.
We're doing, Shannon, we're doing great. It's only 226.
I think I might get Peter from the airport. I think I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah,
it wasn't my priority, but I think I might
all
be
that man Uber.
This has been zippy.
Thank
Zippy.
you.
Yeah. Aysha, you celebrated when Taran picked Jonathan. Why?
I did because he said this is somebody I drafted, and the person that I'm picking, Taran couldn't have drafted. So I was like, okay, this is great. So I'm gonna go with somebody, and I'll present it before I say it. Just really quickly. Of course, it doesn't want to work.
This isn't awkward at all.
I know. But let me talk up the
you.
person. This is somebody who I don't think is in danger of going first. I think we've dodged that. And so I think I'll be good. I don't think that'll be an issue. Okay, this did not work for me. But here we go.
I'm interested.
This is the person that I'm going to draft.
That is
Colby.
Whoa. That was so unexpected.
You were right to breathe a sigh of relief, because he was the other one I was kind of going back and forth on. With
Okay.
Chappell, you and I are so in sync today. Come on, we have the same brain.
To be fair, we had the 2 of the worst drafts in history last round.
It's terrible.
Aysha, talk us through your pick, not your pick with Colby, your pick of Colby.
Oh, so you don't want to know about my pick with Colby?
Yeah, well, I'm assuming it was from 2017 when we went to the live show. Did you
night?
Go ahead.
It was the night I first met Rob for the first time.
Me too. I was there.
Who were you more excited about meeting, Colby or Rob?
Or Chappell?
Yeah.
Oh, Rob for sure.
Well, basically, she's known them for the exact same amount of time, so they're kind of equal.
Aysha, did you have an interaction with Colby? Do you remember what you talked about with him?
He was just very nice. He was just like, I can't remember the exact details. I just remember getting the vibe like, this is a nice guy. That's it.
Yep.
What a neat guy.
He wasn't, there were I didn't get any bad vibes.
And
I also met Liana that night.
Oh.
Liana, do you remember?
I absolutely
Everybody was there, but nobody met Chappell. I was just
Chappell was also there.
I was there. Nobody knows.
Sad.
Yeah.
I
It
do
was a
not
great
have a picture
night
of
that
his
night in Austin, Texas, where Colby came back, and we were all eating out of the palm of his hand that night because that he was really like the experience that I felt. It was almost like, you know, the QB1 comes back to the high school to talk about his stories of glory, and we were all captivated that night, and he was feeling it. So here he is, Aysha. Why do you feel like he's going to win Survivor 50?
Well, that's
Yeah,
not
Aysha,
what it
why?
came down to for me. I don't think that he will win.
Oh, you think he
that
won't be first
go
boot?
home first. Yeah.
Very hard to clear here, Rob.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I'm
fair.
very nervous I'm very nervous with the like pre-20 Survivor players minus Cirie because I feel like there's this certain feeling about the new era, and I feel like it's gonna 26 days. This is nothing. Who cares about all this stuff? Oh my gosh, these challenges. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I think there's gonna be a lot of that, and I could see Colby being vocal about it. And now he's in his later years, right? So, or later days.
Later day.
Yeah. And so I don't think that what people were threatened by younger Colby, I don't think they would be threatened by that today. Like, no, he's not in the same category as Jonathan and Joe.
Yeah.
Everyone remembers Colby for Heroes versus Villains, where he seemed kind of tapped out and he got manhandled by Coach.
Yeah.
And I think that that's amazing for him because I think the perception of Colby can only go up. I think a lot of people will not be threatened by him, and they'll also like hang out with him and be like, wow, he's so much more energetic and charming than I expected. I think that's a great place to be.
Yeah, I think it's possible that maybe Heroes versus Villains was maybe like an outlier. And I also think it's possible that he was unhappy with how Heroes versus Villains went. And maybe what's that?
I think it was fine. I think anyone would look back at that and think that went well. I can't imagine he was upset by that season.
I don't know. I had gotten this argument. It was, I don't know if I'm talking out of school, but Brandon Donlin was trying to talk me into that Colby could be really into it. Like he was kind of over it last time, and maybe he's at a different stage of his life of like, yeah, I wish I had one more shot at this. And maybe he comes back and maybe he does have a fire to come back and play it one more time and sort of like correct the record. Because I'm sure people say to him all the time, wow, you weren't the same on Heroes versus Villains. And I wonder if maybe he does want to come back and sort of like correct the record.
Well, I can tell you his Heroes versus Villains bio, he lists the player he least respects are those who throw in the towel early and leave the game.
Colby,
but like, I think he has now a reputation for somebody who like didn't give his all, who didn't really try. And those are the players he least respects. He wants to make sure he doesn't give that perception again.
That's confusing. So, okay, I think that him being a threat is like the least of his issues. I think that the issue is that this game is so far beyond what he could even conceptualize. Like he's playing like a completely different thing than maybe he knows. Or we've seen today, sometimes people who usually don't prep at all come in hella prepped and you're confused by it. Maybe he will Taran in Survivor 50. We don't know. If that's what happens, then again, Colby's a different person than I know him to be. And then he could do well. But I just can't imagine in a world where Colby doesn't just win Survivor 50. Colby wins like a post-New Era game.
Right.
What does that look like? I just can't imagine it.
It's like it's almost like Colby barely had a fundamental understanding about how to win Survivor the first time. And so it's like when he played the first time, he made the mistake. You know, like the one error you could make in the initial days before there were idols and all this other stuff was like sit next to somebody that you can beat. Like that was like the game. And then he did that wrong. So then it's like he comes back for All Stars, and it's not like he showed up and was like a contender to win the game there. And then he goes to Heroes vs. Villains, and it's like he's not even really tapped in. So it's like now all of a sudden, Colby is going to understand a more intricate version of all the other times that he played, and then beat people who have experience with that, who have also been watching the show. The thing about Colby at that event where Aysha met Liana and I didn't meet anybody except, I was just there, was that it was like QB1 came back and was like telling his old stories, and everybody was like, yeah, look at the new football stadium and the statue we built in your honor. And he was like, what? y'all still watch football? Like, that's how he was. He's like,
Yeah, that's right.
he was like, Survivor's still on? I just got to call it. I just have to come here. Like, he was so lost. Like, we were like, tell us about Reed. He's like, how do y'all know my brother? You know, like, it was stuff like that. He was not tapped in at all. So I'm concerned about Colby. I don't think I'm not saying he can't win. I'm just concerned.
Asia saying he can't win. She drafted him. So
the cool thing about Colby, right, is that I think if Colby wins Survivor 50, it recontextualizes like 25 years of Survivor history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We have,
like
to,
all
change
of a sudden,
we have to change the text.
there's like a through line of Colby all of a sudden that is wild and interesting.
That is, even him being
Survivor was too slow for him. It's like he didn't want to win the first time. The second time there was too much pre-gaming. The third time it was Russell Hands for tea. But then when he finally came back, you know, when the game had sped up a little bit, when we could keep up with Colby.
I think it would make like normie headlines if Colby won Survivor.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Best case scenario is Colby winning.
I said this on the Global podcast, but when I was talking to my dad last week before the 50 cast was announced about AUV World, I told him the cast and he said, where is Boston Robin, the guy who was on Curb Your Enthusiasm? So like definitely in terms of like, and my dad is like the ultimate day one casual who remembers like 5 people from the show ever, clearly. So 100% that's what Colby's bringing. But Colby doesn't even know that. You know, like Colby doesn't even know where he sits in that. It's just a crazy person to be. It's just wonderful. But good luck to him.
All right. So there is Asia's pick, Colby, and now Shannon, you will have your final pick. By the way, Asia's team ends up being Camilla, Angelina, and Colby. All right. Here comes Shannon. Shannon, there are 5 people that are still on the board, okay? And those 5 people are, we've got, in no particular order, Stephanie LaGrossa. We've got Coach, we've got Q, we got Kyle, and we got Riz God. That was a very particular order. That was the order that they played.
Yeah, Riz God. I have had one of these people on my team before.
Yes.
You doing it?
Well, I'm not. I could have the experience of Q in my
setting
draft
the table,
team
Chappell.
twice. Yeah.
She wants to be the problem.
I do love to. I do love to table set, which is weird because I don't like actually table setting. I would not wish that experience on anyone, having Q in your draft team twice. Okay, it was a ride that I went on one time, and that was enough for me. I'm happy to have had this person fall to me. After the Jenna Lewis pick, I had this person in my mind. Now, on the Global podcast, I said RIP Kyle. It's not a good spot for Kyle. However, when we're looking at the board and who Rob is going to get and who the fans are going to get, Kyle can win because Kyle has won. Like Kyle has the skills to win Survivor. He is a good player. Like he's a really good player. And as he said, like I'm so regretful that I didn't draft him the first time, but it's fine. I would have been grenaded. But he's a really good player of the game. He's a victim of his circumstances. But he also is a strong player that they're going to need early. Maybe that gives him time to get over having won last week and his 2 closest allies being there. Maybe they get voted out of other tribes, and maybe we're just not thinking about it as much. Maybe D is helping him. Maybe there's a 49 winner helping him. Maybe it's not as apparent when he can slide under the radar, be likable, be all of the kind of skills he gave last week. When Q was causing all the drama, when there are other bigger threats, maybe Kyle can do it. Would it be insane to win back-to-back literally like that? Yes. I don't think he's the grenade. I think he maybe can give himself time to actually maybe be an insanely tiny sneaker winner pick. Maybe. Tyler's my
hand job.
Yeah, he does have the thing going for him where he's gonna say, "Guys, nobody's gonna vote for me to win."
And they're like, "Yes,
again.
because you're going home today. You're going home right now.
They're not gonna vote for me. I'm just thinking,
tonight. Yeah, I'm like, we're voting for you tonight, buddy."
I don't think it's a very good argument if you're Kyle to say nobody. You just had a bunch of people vote for you. No, I mean Kyle is interesting because he's the opposite of D in many ways, in that he won by being like a trickster. Like he kind of like stayed under there. Nobody knew what kind of game he was playing, and he made it to the end because nobody saw it. But everyone just saw it. So that's kind of like the tough thing to come back and do. And I think the best players are the ones that are able to come back and do that, already being exposed and finding like a new angle. So the question is, does he have that gear? And I think he might, but I think it's also like not a great cast for him. So it'll be very interesting to see at the very least what he does here.
These people, I would judge every one of them if they let Kyle, who they just watched win Survivor, win Survivor again. Like the way their stock is all falling in my like none of these people
Put him on
Mount
Rushmore.
No, all of them. All of them are now removed.
Or it's Kyle that good.
He's the greatest Survivor player of all time. 2 for 2.
But could you imagine?
Back
He
2 for
can't
2.
lose.
Okay.
He's another player.
Okay,
If he
I hear
wins,
you. I hear
it's
you, and I
massive.
literally said R.I.P. Kyle on Survivor Global. But if you look at who I had, 49 male ? Coach, Stephanie, who else? Q. This was a good pick with what I had.
I was considering Kyle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stephanie almost won a season of Survivor. Kyle did win a season of Survivor, and he won yesterday. Look, here's the thing: these people.
Stephanie did not almost win that season. That's not what happened there.
She got far. She got very far. That's true. She got second.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is crazy. Like I just would judge these people. Where's your killer instinct? You let this man do this to you twice, like in a row,
Imagine if
days
it's Joe.
apart.
Here's
Joe
the
and
thing.
Camilla.
Season 48 of Survivor is the most watched new era season of Survivor amongst the alumni of Survivor of the old era because of how many people were in the running and were thinking, let me just keep up and brush up on this. This had a lot of eyeballs on it. Kyle had a lot of eyeballs on him, wins the season, and his 2 closest allies are also with him on the island. Like obviously we've got worries for, Camilla being attached to Kyle and maybe getting sniped early. Kyle is the one that also has the bag from that season next to him. And if there's only one other person that has one next to him, that's not a great spot to be in. I'm very worried for him. And I would love to see him fight back and go back to back. They'll be nuts to watch. They'll be incredible to watch. I just worry heavily. I feel like 3 of you being on this cast and you're the last bit of Survivor they watched before they went on the island. It's too fresh. It's too fresh on the mind.
Especially with I think Kyle would have to play obviously we'd have to play a different kind of game. And from what they saw, my number 1 draft pick, Camilla, was the brains of everything, of like their big moves throughout the season. And so my issue here is you don't even let someone that just won $1 million make it even like, you get what I'm saying? Like you
don't give him the chance.
Yeah, no, each placement he goes further, that's making them look silly because it's just like you just saw him. Like they should just imagine him with a big check that says $1 million, and it's like easy. I don't think anybody on this cast is dumb.
Well,
all it takes is a good starting tribe.
It's
an entirely new game.
Early, like if he wasn't physically necessary early, then I would be like I think that he's going to get some time. I don't think he's going to win. I just think as well that if they're watching 48, it is also possible maybe they do look at Camilla was the one, and I think that is not true of their partnership. But Camilla was really the one driving it. I think they both had separate skills, and Kyle was playing
yes.
I think that it's possible that a lot of people on this cast, is Coach watching and thinking Kyle, or is Coach watching and being look at that Joe guy. So much was Joe's story, and Joe is there to take up that room. I'm grasping at straws for sure. I'm like a late pick, later than we've ever had a draft of a season before of players playing in, because we did the who will be on 50. But yeah, we've never got into this late in the draft for me. I just think that there is, compared to everyone else that was left, I think there's something there. I don't know why Kyle did this. He's such a good player who maybe in years from now had a chance. Why is this what he chose to do? It's such a hard spot.
Well, you got to throw one away. That's what Tony did.
Yeah, that's true also.
Sacrifice 50 for 54.
So.
They call you and they say you're part of 50.
Yeah.
You're not going to say no. You got to take it.
Maybe he should have. But maybe he's playing the long game to win in the future. But it's going to be a long time before we can get the cameo from him, before I can give him the Chizzy mug. Kyle, where are you? We need you.
Look, I think I think Kyle's great. I think he's a great person, great guy. I just don't think that anyone is going to see through, like, oh my gosh, Kyle is so great to talk to. Anyone's not going to see through the fact that you cannot like, you are basically paving a path for a second-time winner when there are 22 other people here who have not won.
There's a lot of moments in this draft where we've talked about players like that you could use as the intro to a fan cam when they do win. So just giving y'all free content out there.
Wow.
If you want to slam dunk on us.
All right. Get Lavina standing by. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So Shannon ends up going with the 20th pick in the supersized draft of
pick.
Kyle. Okay. It's down to me for the final pick of the night.
Yes.
There will be 3 picks coming the way of the audience.
Yes.
The chat is trying to talk me into Riz God. They said, Rob, your kids will love
Rob.
it.
Yeah.
5 big booms for the Riz God.
What? Rob, work
No,
backwards.
I'm not. That's not my pick. That's not my pick.
No, Rob,
He didn't pick that.
work backwards, Rob. Tell us who you don't have.
Yeah.
Okay,
Give
great.
the audience
Give the audience their picks
So sorry,
first. Give the
sorry
audience
to
their
the
picks
chat.
first.
I will not take the Riz God. Okay.
The audience gets the Riz God. Riz God.
You got the dude.
Let's
Okay. Big
No, just
dude.
say 49 male. We're not meant to be spoiling the name.
Oh yeah,
I don't think they
49.
care. I don't think they care.
All right.
Yeah.
I did go to Costco yesterday, Pooya and Liana, and I did buy a chicken bake
Yes.
and also a
How was
double
it?
chocolate chunk cookie. I didn't
Oh,
eat it.
you
I bought it for my
gotta.
kids. My kids
Oh,
were like,
did they
Dad,
like
get
it?
us chicken bake.
You gotta.
It looks
Dom-
like a lot. It looks intense.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I had to fight
Yeah.
with Dominic that he couldn't have the whole thing. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Then, all right. I will not be taking Stephanie LaGrossa.
Okay.
Stephanie
Okay.
LaGrossa is going to the chat. I just don't see it. Don't see the world where, Stephanie has like the relationships and she didn't do great in the final tribal council the first time. That they didn't love her on Guatemala. I feel like that she's been away from the game for too long. So I don't see it for Stephanie.
Can I give you what I
Rob.
found for
Yes.
Stephanie and her
yes.
original,
Yeah.
her
Go ahead.
heroes
Yes,
versus
and then
villains
Chappell.
bio? She said the players she least respects are any female who plays the game for the wrong reasons.
What? Why? Why did she say that? Why did she say it like that? Why did she make it female specifically? Why wasn't it just everyone?
Shannon narrating my thoughts when I read that.
Right.
Yeah.
Tara was like, "What's
You gotta
happening?"
give it the
here?
right
Yeah.
reasons. Yeah.
Oh,
What are you
Wrong
going to say, Chappell?
reasons.
Rob, you are down to coach and Q. This is
Incredible.
incredible.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
and
I
the
really-
Oliver,
I
two
could
sides of
make
the
the
same
case
coin.
for either of them. I
I know you could.
really
But
could.
should-
But that the answer is clear to me.
Okay.
And I got so nervous when Shannon started going because I really thought she was
Oh,
going to
Rob.
double down.
Oh, you don't know
Because
what you're about
if-
to experience.
If my pick's not Q,
Make it count for Christmas.
Chance of Christmas, it's Q. And I really do think there is a world where Q can win Survivor 50. I really do think it could happen
But
because I think we said like, oh, well, Tony can't win Survivor 40.
That's Tony.
And
We
that was
didn't
Tony,
do
but
it,
what
that's
did he
Tony.
do? What did he do? He was so silly. He created that he was just they thought he was such a goofball that people didn't take him seriously until it was too late. Q is an incredibly successful person in his business. Like he's not a dummy. And I think that he probably learned a lot from his Survivor 46 experience. He was somebody that I don't know if people are going to be threatened by. He may get on people's nerves. That's certainly possible. But he's somebody who was a force in the game. People listen to him. I think that they're like, oh, he'll get himself into trouble. Aysha, could you see Genevieve working with Q?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
think
well,
Anybody.
that's a low bar.
he's so entertaining. I really do think that people are going to enjoy being around him. And I do think that he doesn't have to necessarily make some of the same mistakes he made in Survivor 46. And so I think that he is entirely capable. He's somebody that I don't know if people consider him to be a big threat to win the individual immunities. And I think that he certainly could. He kind of stunk in the challenges in Survivor 46. Maybe he can put it into another gear. And I think that if he gets to the final 3, he's such a force of personality. He's going to have everybody cracking up. I think he can has a super likable side to him. And I think Q could do it.
I think you're totally right. I think that, which is why I am worried about Aubry if she's on the same starting tribe. Because the thing about Q is that he leads votes. Like he's gonna be like, I'm gonna name names, and that's super valuable because if he's naming a name that's not in your group, then you can just ride Q and let him go wild, point him in the right direction, and let him be this big figurehead. It's kind of what they did with Philip in like South Pacific, or not South Pacific, the one that Cochran won.
Yes.
And so, I think that because he wanted his Philip, right? Like, I think that they will want him to be somebody who is going to be leading a charge and leading votes and making a big target of himself. But the thing about Q is that he is no Philip. He is somebody that if you are not careful, he will bite the hand that is feeding him, and he will take control, genuine control, and I think could certainly get respect enough to win a game if he makes it to the end. I think that people will underestimate Q.
Now, that's the fun side of all this. I do think that part of the Q recipe for success, I do think, is that he ends up pairing up with a lot of these meaty men that we're talking about. Like, I think that those are the kind of guys that might end up following somebody like Q said in season 46, like, okay, I'm going to QB this thing. Like, I think he could be the guy who is the brains behind the meaty men.
I was honestly higher on Q coming into this draft, but the more we kept being like, but then when Q comes in, and I'm like, he's going to be the center of so much chaos. And then I remembered it, like, it's in my bones that I was like, oh yeah. So Rob, I need to teach you. We need to have we'll offline. We'll have a discussion where I can teach you how to have Q on your team. My number one tip: just have fun with it. Don't put too much stock into it. Like, yeah, just have fun, enjoy the ride, and just hope for the best. That's basically, because having Q as your draft pick it's quite an experience.
Okay. Aysha, you have any commentary on Q?
You know, that's a tough pick. I think Q he is larger than life. His personality is huge. Do I think that I think only Q can get in Q's way. I think if Q approached this like, look, I'm a different guy. Okay. Who do y'all want out? If he takes that approach, no one is seeing him as an immediate threat. But if he comes in guns a-blazing, Aubry's got to go. Did you see what happened with Mo? Aubry's got to go. Then I think it's going to be one of those situations where people, and if Tiffany can be like, yeah, this is Q. This is how he always is. Like, there's no change. I think it would be very easy for him to be the grenade. It's just like, if we've been thinking about Q for 2 hours and 51 minutes. So there's no way that he is somebody that just slips on by, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to like capital Q quit, right?
No.
That's also the
other
concern.
I mean,
that he was.
Colby will talk him out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy that I still speak Q and Q.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have to get back into my Q language.
If I may, I'd also like to just talk about Coach here for a second. That I did consider Coach. I do think that there is a chance that Coach does have some upside in this season. I mean, don't forget that Coach, the last time we saw him, he went to a final tribal council. He lost South Pacific by just a couple of votes because he couldn't really bring himself to say what the jury wanted him to say. But I do think that there was a possibility that he could have said the right thing to potentially unlock the jury. No disrespect to Sophie, who did do a great job with the jury of Survivor South Pacific. So I think that with how many years, 13 years of reflection, at a different place in his life, I think that people are going to probably enjoy being around Coach. It is like meeting a celebrity for these people from the new era. And I think that Coach, that it's possible that he is not going to be seen as a threat in this game. I think he has a reputation of kind of being like a joke. And so I think that people we're not worried about Coach. We're not worried about Coach. But then all of a sudden you look up and he's in the final 3 and it's like, all right, sure, I'll vote for the legend.
Can I'm just going to take a moment. I couldn't pick a single quote. Would you mind if I read his whole bio from his original season?
Sure.
Benjamin Wade is known by many names. As the head of women's soccer coach at Southwest Baptist University in Missouri, he's called Coach Wade, but he also goes by Maestro, due to his role as an artistic director and conductor at a California Symphony Orchestra. A skilled musician, Benjamin was traveling the world playing the trumpet before most kids could even spell trumpet. Wade sees coaching as another form of manipulation. You have to find out what everybody wants, what everybody needs, what they think they want, what they think they need. And then you have to be the person that solves everything. He knows these skills will be valuable in the game of Survivor. If Benjamin was asked just to wear one hat, it would be that of Renaissance man. Aside from setting the world record for the longest solo kayak expedition on the ocean, an amazing 6,132 miles, which I could not verify, by the way, Wade has also been attacked by a tiger shark, stalked by a jaguar in the Amazon, and has been bitten by a piranha on his right hand. To say that he is a type A alpha male who likes to control the environment around him may just be an understatement. Coach's dominant personality will be a force to be reckoned with in the game.
Where was the lie?
I like that he specified right hand.
Yeah, I agree. That also stood out.
I don't know why that stood out to me.
Were the other
guys
bios
know already.
on the season of a similar style and length, or was this specific to Coach? They knew they were cooking.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Rob made a better point for Coach winning than he did for Q. I was like, I don't know why you didn't pick Coach. I feel like you're right. And I think Coach is socially ingrained in Survivor in a way that's probably underrated. He knows the new era people and he knows the old era people. We've seen him he's like on tour with Ben Katzman. Like he knows Charlie. He's going to know a lot of these people. And I don't know, it's like if you're looking at threats, you're probably not, your first thought isn't probably like, let's get out Coach. And if there's a big meaty men alliance of the men slapping meats, Coach is right there being like, yes, iron, sharpen iron, please. And so
meat sharpen meat.
Like, meat slap the meat. And so he's doing all of those things. The Coach's greatest hits are going to be played throughout the season, and no one's going to be thinking, we got to get out Coach. So if Coach can somehow go to the end, be likable, and not piss off everybody, and, do a little something, do a little 1-2, I think Coach has it. Now, Q, that might be a little bit more difficult for him.
If Q got taken, I would have taken Coach with that pick at 21. But I just think that there's something about Q, and I really could see him being like the face of the winner of Survivor 50.
What?
So,
Rob, you're going to have a fun time.
Okay.
So on an overall, who do y'all think is the best player in the audience's team? Who's got the best?
Season 49 male, easy.
Yeah.
I think Coach. I don't know about. I don't know season 49 male. So I'm just.
If we're talking about the best player, then I think that the mystery box is probably the chance to be maybe the most well-rounded of the three.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I do have a small report on Rizgod if we want to have the small. It's again, this is not something that nobody knows.
Jump 3 minutes if you want.
Yeah.
It'll not be 3 minutes. It'll be about 30 to 60 seconds.
There we go.
Basically, he has played in a bunch of online reality games, and including Big Brother ones and Survivor ones. I have not seen him do particularly well in them, though. He has not won any games that I can see. His highest placement, I think, was like 6th.
Not bad at all.
Sorry, fifth in a Big Brother game.
All right, there you go.
That is the Rizgod report.
All right.
Thank you for your research, Taran. You've brought so much prep to this podcast, and you've really
What is it? Sounds like you're being shady, Shannon. I don't know. The tone on it's a little shady.
But it's not meant to come out.
Let's recap our big Survivor 50 draft. We've got Liana, who got it all started, and she ends up with Cirie, Chrissy, and Joe. Pooya went second. He ends up with Genevieve, season 49 female, and D, all women team for Pooya. Look at that. Okay. Chappell ends up with Devens, Ozzy, and Jenna, the all old school team. Taran ends up with Christian, Aubry, and Jonathan. Don't have a common denominator there, but
again, they made this cast up.
I was looking forward to it.
Okay. Aysha has Camilla, Angelina, and Colby.
One of each era.
Yes.
One of each
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Then Shannon ends up with Charlie, Emily Flippen, and Kyle.
The all new era team?
Yes. Rob ends up with, Mike White, Tiffany, and Q. So I feel like either Tiffany or Q feel one of them is going to end up going far. And then the audience gets season 49 male, Stephanie, and Coach.
You didn't name your team though, Rob. I'd say Mike White in 46.
Boy, yeah. This is the
two
two people that are going to be on the White Lotus season 4.
But will they get speaking lines? I'm sorry, that was me. I didn't. Okay. Sorry.
All right.
Mike White will be obsessed with Q. Like Mike White has some pretty good inspiration, I think, for the future of writing about ridiculous people. So could see something there just for the storyline. I feel like he could keep Q around.
Season 4
for that.
White Lotus is going to be lit. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be all about Q. It's going to be more like a documentary.
3 hours of drafting for the winner in the books here tonight. I can tell you that coming to the Patreon feed later this week, we have a real treat for you that we let Brandon Donlin take over, and he had a bunch of his Survivor friends go down the basement and record the first boot draft featuring some of Brandon had his friends over, and they did a first boot draft. We're going to drop that in the Patreon feed later on this week. They're drafting for who will be voted out first from Survivor 50. So check that out
from tonight.
Later on this week. All right.
Or a week from tonight.
Okay. Great job on the draft, everybody. There was a lot to get to tonight. We kept it moving. I'm really proud of us. Okay. Liana, what's coming up for you?
Pooya and I are continuing our couple dominance, I guess, according to Shannon.
Break up.
Tomato.
We did do a little bit of a preview for the Survivor 50 cast. So if you're looking for more Survivor 50 coverage, check out the latest episode of the Pooya and Liana Lounge, pooyaandliana.com, or we're on the YouTube channel. Just search Pooya and Liana.
Okay. And Pooya.
Aside from what the amazing Liana just said, check out the lounge. I'm talking 90 Day Fiance every week, which has been very fun. There's a brand new side 90 Day spinoff happening that's like a mix of Love Island and Bachelor in Paradise meets 90 Day, and it is a mess. So check that out, please. Me and Annabelle talked about the first episode. That podcast should have gone live today, so you can find that. And I'm still streaming every day to commemorate 5 years of streaming and to complete every promise that I've not kept my streaming career. Just hit day 14 today, so 2 more weeks to go. Twitch.tv/Pooya. Check me out.
Okay. Chappell, what's coming up for you?
Well, Sasha and I just finished recording our season review of Sneaky Links Dating After Dark on Netflix, and it was a great time. So check that out on the Nothing But Netflix podcast. And then, of course, over on Recap Kickback, I am creeping up on 2,000 YouTube subscribers. And so please go subscribe. recapkickback.com/subscribe to go subscribe to the podcast. But then, of course, the YouTube page, youtube.com/@recapkickback. Help me get to 2,000.
Okay. Taran, the calendar has turned to June. You're getting close to full-on activation
Defrosting.
for the summer.
Get
Yes.
loose, Taran. Get loose.
Well, in the meantime, you can find I'm doing some new content over on my YouTube channel where I'm reacting to episodes live, showing the episode and watching the genius over there. We're doing the Big Brother retrospectives leading up to the Big Brother season. And also, if this is releasing to the general public in the future, then go check out the thing that I've been talking about lately that is really fun and do that because it'll I can't say it right now, but in the future you'll know what it is. So thank you.
Taran is collaborating with Rizgod. Is that what I'm picking up?
You'll just have to wait and see and or have already seen because you're watching this in the future.
Yeah. All right. Aysha. Of course, we mentioned The Pride Spoken. Check it out.
Yes, had a great time.
The headliner.
Yeah, I was shocked when Grace kicked it off and was like, "This is our first episode." I was like, "Whoa!" I just I didn't assume that I was the first episode, but I was honored. So love what Grace, Matt, and Evie are doing on the Pride Spoken. So make sure you go listen to that. And there's 5 weeks of episodes coming up. So don't just listen to mine, listen to all of them. And also Jason Reed and I are in the off season of Married at First Sight. We have an Instagram now, so go follow us on Instagram at A Perfect Match Podcast to see what we're up to.
Okay. Great job tonight, Aysha. And Shannon, of course, you bring so much to the draft. It wouldn't be the same without you. What's coming up for you?
Firstly, a couple of minutes ago, I said that White Lotus season 4 would be a documentary about Q, and I should have said documentary. So I'm really rusty on my speaking.
It was
Q,
right there. It was right there.
It was right there. I'm so sorry. And I can only apologize. For everything. I talked about the cast reactions with Nick and Eden on Survivor Global. That was a really fun chat. We had a lot of thoughts about the cast. We didn't really pull a lot of punches. So if you want some maybe not hot takes, but definitely some like opinions, we have them there. And then yeah, AUV World will be coming up. Speaking of Q, I got to start watching 60 episodes of Survivor Quebec. Not that he's in it, it's just that starts with Q, and I'm getting into it now.
We got it.
Yeah. So imagine if he was though. That'd be a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's going to be a lot of preseason content. So at Shannon Gates, WienerGlobalSurvivor.com to make sure you're not missing AUV World with Cirie, who's on this season and that season. Hopefully it does not affect her exit press for AUV World.
Okay. Great job tonight. Shannon, thank you so much to the patrons who checked out this podcast. Also in the patron feed, I think I went about like 3.5 hours taking patron questions on Friday. I definitely check out that Q&A, Shannon, from Friday. That was a really good one. Also today on the podcast, we dropped an episode with Sean and Evan from Drop Your Buffs stopped by, and we talked about their reactions to season 50. I talked a little bit also about my own saga with season 50 with those guys. If you want to check out that podcast, very fun conversation with them. And then on Monday, I'll be live with Chappell for some bonus Club Condo, and we'll hear Chappell's snubs for season 50 coming up on Monday. So a lot to do still with season 50. Thank you so much. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye. This is RHAP. We know reality TV.